eastbound Eisenhower. The exit to the outbound Kennedy is set to reopen after an overnight closure. The ramp from the inbound Ike to the outbound Ryan remains open. No delays to report on the Ike right now. The Edens is fine, so is the Kennedy. Reversibles are open inbound. No problem to report on the Stevenson or on the inbound Ryan. There is outbound work, 87th split, 3 left lanes. I-57, Bishop Ford okay. No issues to report on the tollways. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Sunny today, high 38. Clouds tonight, low 29. Some rain tomorrow, high 42. Morning snow showers on Sunday. Otherwise cloudy, windy, and cold, the high 35, but temperatures dropping into the upper 20s. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 5:30. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Ding, 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 ding. Hello again, everybody. Bruce Wolf, along with, who did they send in here today?
Some random woman from Chicago.
Let's play 20 questions.
Sure.
See if we can figure out who you
can
are.
Figure out the ultimate famous person here.
Anyway, Dan and Amy aren't here. Are they in Puerto Vallarta now? I just or is that in April? I guess I'm not sure. But filling in today. Actually, this is a coup. We're taking over. We've exercised the 25th Amendment.
We have.
And Andrew McCabe and I and Rod Rosenstein decided to remove Dan and Amy from office. But we're Jesse Smollett. At 5 the odd hours, it's going to be Jesse Smollett. And in the even hours, I think it's going to be Jesse Smollett or Jussie Smollett.
Whatever you want.
He's the man. He's so famous, you can mispronounce his name 2 different ways, both his first name and his second name. But you are, let's play What's My... Did you ever watch What's My Line? You're probably not old enough to remember What's My Line.
I'm a game show fanatic, so I've seen some of it on reruns.
All right.
Yes.
Should we open up the phone lines and see if anybody could guess who's in the studio?
Isn't it a little early for that, Bruce?
Yeah, nobody's up. I'm certainly not. Our Turnkey.pro answer line is 312-642-5600. 312-642-5600. And don't look at Twitter because it says who's on with me. So, but most of our listeners probably are such Luddites that they are not even familiar with Twitter.
Hey.
So, but you are on Twitter.
I am on
Twitter. So that
Twitter.
immediately puts you under 80, right?
I am very active on Twitter. Twitter was basically created with me in mind.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm part of the Me Too Twitter movement. I just, I live on Twitter. As a matter of fact, I can't even think in greater terms than 280 characters.
It's
right
good.
now.
It's good.
Yeah.
It keeps things concise and to the point. And nowadays, everybody is so distracted that it's good to be able to put that information out into a nice little.
But let me ask you, Carol Roth. Oh, I just gave it away. Carol Roth is with us.
Carol Roth in the house.
Now, Carol Roth, I know, like you used to be like on GN, right?
Correct.
You
I
did
did
a show.
the noon show on WGN
Really?
for a hot minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was a substitute host there.
Yeah.
From time to time.
But most people know
years
me
ago.
from the television, the national television.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you on?
So I'm currently on Fox Business.
Okay.
Including,
Is this a regular gig? Or,
yeah, so I'm on Bulls and Bears at least 1 or 2 times a week, which for the
what channel is that on DirecTV?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It depends which one you have. But a lot of people also know me from CNBC because I was with them for 4 years. So if you're into business news, and then before that,
I'm not, but okay.
a lot
I don't
of-
understand that stuff, so maybe you can explain it to me today.
We'll give you a little education, but also a lot of people know me from my viral Twitter fight with Piers Morgan.
Yes, they were showing it to me yesterday, and I know who Piers Morgan is. So you actually got into a Twitter fight with him.
Yes.
And you pounded him.
Yeah,
Could you recapitulate that fight that you had with him? Maybe I could play the role of Piers Morgan. How does he sound like this? I
He
forgot.
has a very lovely British accent, Carol. But I used to be a regular on his show, and we got into a fight over the Second Amendment, and he had tweeted out that the founding fathers had muskets in mind, not high-powered assault rifles, and then fact, as if he had like a time machine where he could go back and know exactly what they're saying. And so I just tried to be nice and explain to him. I said, no, I think it was designed for you to be able to protect yourself with any kind of weapon that you might need protection from. So he said, well, where exactly in the Constitution does it say that? I must have missed it. And I said right next to the word muskets.
Okay.
And so that actually got him, if you've ever heard anyone call him Musket Morgan or anything like that was the genesis of that nickname. And
it all went downhill from him, for him there.
And so I'm the only person who has been in NRA magazine as well as Dolls magazine.
Wow. So that's cool.
Yeah. Because it's quite a resume.
I'm not a gun owner, but I defend to the death the people who want. It's like I'm not a cigarette smoker, but I'm always for the underdog. And the underdog, the underdog is the gun owner, much maligned. It's like, what do you need that phallic symbol for? I used to hate to see cigarette smokers have to go outside in order to smoke. So I'm always, I have that. It's a Jewish thing, I think.
I'm a fierce defender of individual rights.
Are you a libertarian?
I am an individualist. That's what I consider myself.
I'm not. We're gonna have.
You're a collectivist.
No, they're not a collectivist. I'm not. I'm like Kamala Harris. I'm not a commie. I think she said the other day, even though she is, because she believes in the Green New Deal.
She only believes in that because that's the hot flavor of the month. I don't actually think fundamentally that's what she's for, but everybody has seen that that's worked so well and gotten AOC so much attention, so they're now all going, oh, that's what we need to be. So we're gonna be that.
You think that Kamala Harris is a will-o'-the-wisp who does not have any fundamental principles? I think she's basically a Democrat. Now, true, the other day she said, we've got to spend a lot of money on education. We're spending so much money on mass incarceration. And then people on Twitter were saying, wait a minute, you were a prosecutor. You threw people in jail all the time.
For smoking marijuana, by the way.
Right.
Yes.
So, yeah, she does tend to, and with the Jussie Smollett thing, and I've already violated the edict from the program director, said you must talk about Jussie Smollett every 5 minutes here. So we may have it Smollett on the 8s. But, she had originally tweeted, but I don't think she even wrote her own tweet and even knew that she had written this, that this was like a modern lynching. And then she was questioned about it.
Modern-day lynching, which has turned into an emotional modern-day lynching, because there wasn't actually a modern-day lynching. But now, in principle, there was a modern-day
It was literally a figurative modern-day lynching.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we've got Bill from the northern suburbs. Hi, Bill. You want to guess who's on the show? Even though I said it, but I don't expect you to pay attention.
Hi, Bill.
Who's on?
How are you? Say, Bruce, I can't be fooled. That's the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin.
You got that right. Thank you. Oh yeah. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill.
And the funny thing is, Bill, we actually look exactly the same.
You do.
I am basically, if you could imagine what Aretha Franklin's twin would look like, that is me.
Can you spell respect?
RESPECT.
Not a big karaoke fan, are you?
No, I'm not a good singer. I have a lot of I can dance, but you can't see that on the radio.
Well, we are live streaming here at. What are we live streaming at? I can't read this. I need some glasses. But we're live streaming.
We're live.
We're AM 560 The Answer.
We are.
Yes, and let's pause for station identification right here. Should we take a break? Yes. Okay.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560 The Answer.
Another school year is about to wrap up, and you need to start thinking about what activities your son or daughter will be involved with during summer break. You want them to have fun this summer, but at the same time have some structure to be prepared for the next school year. Introduce them to St. John's Northwestern Experience in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin with Summer OPS. Opportunities for personal success. 5 intensive weeks of learning and training. Young men and women grades 7 to 12 get an opportunity to advance academically in the structured and supportive environment of a military boarding school, and at the same time, be involved in an exciting summer adventure camp that inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, leadership skills, spiritual and character development, and athletics and wellness. Camp St. John's Northwestern for your son or daughter with full boarding or day camp programs. Get more info at 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET or online at sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Even in my own home, I had my own designated space to smoke. If I think about it, it really was like I was punishing myself. A friend of mine said, why wouldn't you just try the Juul? And so I went out and I bought one. The idea of going back to smoking, I couldn't even imagine doing that. I don't think anyone, including myself, thought that I could switch.
Carolyn made the switch October 2016. Make the switch at JUUL.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
Message and data rates may apply.
When did it become okay for men to be lazier, softer, fatter? We need to bring the men of this country back to greatness. And it's easier than ever with Ageless Male Max, a patent-pending formula with an ingredient that helps boost your total testosterone, promoting greater increases in muscle size and twice the reduction of body fat percentage than exercise alone. Plus, an amazing 64% increase in nitric oxide, which can be handy in the gym and in the bedroom. Take your manhood to the max by trying your first 30-day bottle free. Just pay shipping and handling. Not 10 days, not 15 days, but a full 30-day supply free when you text the word FAST to 797979. Finally, a formula that boosts total testosterone. If your results with Ageless Male Max are too intense, please decrease use. For your free bottle, text FAST to 797979. Text FAST to 797979.
I got my bottle of Balance of Nature. Oh, yeah. I went to their website, balanceofnature.com. And again, I typed Chicago in the promo code for 35% off my first order of fruits and veggies for Balance of Nature. You know, we're in the thick of it, the cold and flu season here in Chicago, and everyone's sniffling and sneezing and coughing. I'm around kids a lot, and I want to avoid getting sick. So I know that I have to boost my immune system. And a great way to do that is with the fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature. We're all busy, and it's hard to get enough fruits and veggies, and that's where Balance of Nature comes in. 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies in a capsule to boost your immune system all winter long. Folks, the testimonials are real. I've met Dr. Douglas Howard and his wife and son. Dr. Howard is the founder and creator of Balance of Nature, and he showed me the emails. We played the voicemails of real people who use Balance of Nature to get healthier and stay healthy. That should be you. So don't wait another day. Try it now before you get sick. And again, 35% off your order by using the promo code Chicago when you go to balanceofnature.com or simply call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751.
AM 560, The Answer.
In the words of my late friend Aretha Franklin, show some RESPICT.
Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy. And it's interesting that we play Al Shrapnel right there. Sharpton. I think we've advanced. We've advanced, Carol, because remember, he has never apologized for the Tawana Brawley hoax. But even now, it seems like nobody's defending Jussie Smollett. Everybody's saying, oh, yeah, this was wrong. Although his defense team came out with this statement.
By the way, can we just set the stage here? This statement is amazing.
Oh, you want to read the statement?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
We could do it, a chorus or in unison.
We could do it in Shakespeare.
Today we witnessed an organized law enforcement spectacle that has no place in the American legal system. The presumption of innocence, a bedrock in the search for justice, was trampled upon at the expense of Mr. Smollett. And notably, on the eve of a mayoral election, Mr. Smollett is a young man of impeccable character and integrity who fiercely and solemnly maintains his innocence and feels betrayed by a system that apparently wants to skip due process and I don't have the second page of this, but it goes on like that. And I got to say, Cujo's, as Michael Jordan once said.
Or Caduce, as some people say as well.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Caduce, yes.
For the chutzpah, excuse me, I
Amazing.
think I spit on your shoulder right there when I said that, for saying this, because, yeah, I can see this, but you better be able to back this up, because where's the defense? Why wasn't the defense attorney coming out there yesterday and saying, holding a press conference and saying, look, this didn't happen this way. These two guys actually did attack Jussie Smollett. They were wearing ski masks. The $3,500
and shouting MAGA country?
Well, no, the $3,500 that's not, and he wrote a check, sure, but on the bottom it doesn't say for the hoax.
No, I'm pretty sure it did. He wasn't that clever. I'm pretty sure for tax purposes he wanted to make sure that he itemized
for
that
the hoax.
check. Yes,
for the hoax. So but his story has got to be that he thought he was actually being attacked by these guys. If he doesn't have that
no
story,
way.
No,
I can't even believe. I mean,
well, let's not rush to judgment, OJ.
I didn't rush to judgment. I happen to live about a block away from where this happened.
Why did you bury the lead here? I didn't realize you were a witness. Where were you on the night of the whatever it was, the 29th? It was 4 below zero. You live in Streeterville. How far away did you live from the scene of this alleged crime?
I live, not to give away my location for safety purposes, but I live right there. I can see it from my window. I can see into his building. And the great thing about our neighborhood is if somebody sneezes too loudly at 2 o'clock in the morning, 90 people call the police. That's what happens in our neighborhood.
Because you're you're one of those lakefront liberals, right? I mean, that's
no. Don't
that's a rich
mess
area.
up my good name by calling me a liberal. I'm an individualist.
Oh, but you're a lakefront nouveau riche. What are you?
Individualist. And the funny thing is that the very first people who doubted this were actually the doormen, because there's every building has a doorman and they know everything that's going on there, and they're the first one to go, yeah, this didn't happen. But this was really an actor's version of what a crime was. Too much CSI. I mean, every single detail was so overstaged that it was it almost reminded me if the producers had been about a hate crime instead. So instead of them producing the Springtime for Hitler, they're producing the hate crime.
He wanted to create a bomb that everybody would invest in, and it actually turned out to be a hit.
Right, the most ridiculous thing that you could possibly ever come up with, and then just double down on that over and over.
Well, one
again.
of the problems, though, and a lot of people have said, he's a great actor, but not a good writer or director. But the thing is that I would want my $3,500 back because they didn't get it on camera.
But they got the rehearsal on camera. That's the best part about it, that they did a rehearsal. He went back. He didn't realize the camera was pointing in the opposite direction, and they practiced it.
Yeah.
That was caught on
Why did
camera.
they practice it at the location? They should have done it somewhere else.
This is of all the things that are going on here, Bruce, this is your big question.
Don't they realize, I mean, how stupid can you be? I mean, that's the shame, is that he didn't. It was the most imperfect crime that you could have. And almost everybody was doubting it from the beginning. It's funny because I was reading all the Chicago TV reporters who were on it, and they'd go on Twitter, where we were talking before how great Twitter is, because Twitter's where you actually get the truth on things. You get a lot of phony, bad stuff, too. Well, you get bad stuff,
it's
too.
It's like the TJ Maxx of the truth. You have to go through a lot of racks to find that one nugget of the truth. It's not like it's sitting out there boutique style for you.
But you won't get it. It'll be on TV. It'll be masked because, they've got standards, I guess. And so you won't really find out what's going on.
But we have to give a shout out to the local media, to Rafer Weigel, to Rob Elgas, to Charlie DeMar. These gentlemen,
CWB, whoever they are.
Chicago on Twitter, they just ate the national media's, they ate them for lunch. They did such a professional job, and they exemplified what journalism in a time when we have so much fake news and so much bias in our media. I'm actually very proud of it.
And the lunch we want to give them is a tuna sandwich,
from
a
Subway,
sub.
right?
Yes,
because if you're going to fight somebody over something, it's not going to be a piece of cake. It's going to be a Subway sandwich at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I hate to turn this into a technical workshop, pardon my Eddie Schwartz, but I didn't get down the time that I'm supposed to break again. Can you tell me when that is? around 5:30 Central Time. Mark that on your
I will,
U.S.
I
Naval
will,
Observatory
I will do that. But,
time clock.
But that's the amazing thing. You know, if you're a rich and famous actor and you're living in Streeterville, like there's no reason why you would be going to Subway at 2:00 in the morning. And certainly if you got into a fist fight with someone, you're not picking up your sandwich and bringing it back.
Well,
home
my
with
favorite thing that he said when he talked to Robin Roberts in that interview was when he said he punched back. That's when, credulity was strained. Let's listen to a random cut from our esteemed Eddie Johnson here, if I can hit
Who,
the
by
cursor.
the way, Eddie Johnson was not playing. He was not. He came.
This was a
to
great moment
serve.
for
This
him.
was great. This was fantastic.
This announcement today recognizes that Empire actor Jussie Smollett took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career.
Now, then they had this guy, this Chicago cop, Wardnicki. He was on, and he started talking about what happened, given the timeline.
Okay, the boss just corrected me. Please forgive me. I'm supposed to go through the timeline of our investigation.
The timeline.
Okay. He starts laughing. See, no, Eddie, you're not.
Here's where we are.
Now, here's where you are. You're not supposed to laugh when you're delivering with all due solemnity. You're not supposed.
At this point, I mean, it's in a way, it's not laughable. I mean, certainly, he's somebody who had all these things going for him. He's talented. He was successful. He was famous. He's attractive, and he chose to trade on being a victim instead of leveraging his success. And unfortunately, that's a big issue that we're facing in America today, this victimhood culture, that there's more money and fame and power in being a victim than in being successful these days.
Thank you for taking a look at the zeitgeist for us, Carol.
That's
so
what I am.
Early,
I'm all about the zeitgeist.
So early
on
in the
Friday
morning. How we live in this victim culture, and you as a libertarian want people to rise by their own bootstraps. So maybe they didn't have the advantages that you had growing up in Streeterville.
No, he was making.
Did you grow up in Streeterville?
No, I grew up in Deerfield.
Oh wow! Well, you're like Howard Schultz living in the projects.
But
you grew up in a Starbucks.
So here's a fun fact for you.
Yes.
My father grew up on the west side of Chicago.
Yeah, so did I.
And he was in the first Jewish gang, the Funny Fellows.
Not the Crips, the Bloods, but the Funny Fellows.
Well,
ask him,
and they were fierce.
Was he? Did he grow up in Roosevelt and Harding, where I was born? Because
he
our
was
roots are
16th and Colon.
Well, that's where we are. Yeah, you see, our roots go all the way back to Mount Sinai, but also the west side of Chicago.
Went to Austin High School.
Well, my parents went to Marshall.
Yeah.
Okay. Austin killed them in football. All right, we'll be back in for Dan and Amy. What's your name again?
Carol Roth.
And Bruce Wolf.
It's 23 degrees with clear skies in Chicago at 5:30 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. 2 more women are accusing singer R. Kelly of sexual misconduct. High-profile attorney Gloria Allred warned the singer yesterday as Latricia Scaff described a 1995 incident involving her and Rochelle Washington when they were underage teens.
To R. Kelly, I'm sending this message. You have nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. You have been able to get away with your predatory misconduct for far too long.
The pair claims the singer exposed himself and had sex with one of them in a hotel room following a concert in Baltimore. The Chicago native has allegations of sexual misconduct against him dating back 25 years. In other news, a new police and fire training academy on Chicago's west side is one step closer to reality. The Chicago Plan Commission approved plans yesterday to build a $95 million, 500,000 square foot campus in West Garfield Park. The project has been blasted by activists who believe the $95 million could be used for community infrastructure. It still needs to be approved by the full city council. A search is underway to find a 12-year-old girl who went missing on Chicago's west side. Police say Tyshawn Jackson was last seen yesterday morning in the 3300 block of West Maypole. In sports news, the Cubs are set to open Cactus League play tomorrow in Arizona. They open up against the Brewers at Sloan Park in Mesa. The Cubs will then play the Giants Sunday in Scottsdale. AM 560 News Time is 5:33. How bad is traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Mike Gallagher doesn't understand where the Democrats are coming from.
This group of angry, scowling Democrats who wouldn't even clap when the president recited the historic low unemployment for Black and Hispanic Americans. They didn't clap for that. Why not? How could you not clap for that?
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Attention maintenance coordinators. Fans are a vital part of your business's building or factory. You've got to keep the air moving. But when they break down or need service, who can you call? Vans Industrial repair all types of fans, from small wall fans to large air movers.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Fan repair is one of many services that Vans offers. If you have a fan with a damaged shaft, bearing, impeller, or housing, we can help. And if you need a new fan, we handle all major brands and can provide engineering assistance to properly size your new fan. Our crews can respond to your emergencies or routine maintenance and will have your fan back up and running fast. And when we're done repairing your fan, we can also dynamically balance it so it runs smooth for years to come.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level, to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND to get your fan repaired today. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Are you happy with what's looking back at you in the mirror? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we'd like to help you with that smile. Whether you're looking to fix 1 or 2 teeth or a whole smile makeover, we can take care of all your dental needs. We have a beautiful modern facility and a great staff. And most importantly, we love what we do. That's what sets us apart from other offices. Let's face it, a dental office is not everyone's favorite place. Whether you're 2 or 102, we make it fun and enjoyable. We perform all types of dentistry as well. Fillings, root canals, crowns, extractions, dentures, implants. We do most everything right in our office. And for you denture wearers, we have a full in-house denture lab and can perform repairs and relines while you wait. We can also talk about adding implants so your denture will snap into place or become screw retained. This is the closest option to natural teeth. We are conveniently located in Gurnee at the corner of Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. So make today the day you give us a call. 847-244-4000. That's 847-244-4000. Or visit us on the web at gurneedds.com. We look forward to seeing you, and remember, second opinions are always free. Excellence in dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
35 from the AM 560 Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
On I-80 eastbound, traffic is moving well again after a crash between LaGrange Road and Harlem cleared. Edens is fine. No delays to report yet on the Kennedy. On Eisenhower, it's a little congested approaching Des Plaines Avenue. 30 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 5 at 29. There will be some emergency pothole patching this afternoon on the ramp from the inbound Ike to the outbound Kennedy. Stevenson inbound, tight Cicero to Kedzie. 37 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. On Ryan, delays start before 18th. 18 minutes, 95 to downtown. Station Ford, got a 2-minute delay approaching the merge. I-57's okay. No delays to report on the tollways. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Today, mostly sunny skies with a high at 38. Clouds will increase tonight, low 29. Cloudy with some rain tomorrow with a high 42. Morning snow showers on Sunday. Clouds and cold, high 35. Temperatures dipping into the 20s. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 6 o'clock. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth, whoever she is.
In the house.
For Dan and Amy. We'll be back on Monday. And our telephone number, the turnkey.pro answer line is 312-642-5600. We've got Smollett on the 8s. But there are other things going on in the world. I don't know what exactly they are. But let's go to Brad from the West Loop. Good morning, Brad.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey,
morning,
Bruce,
Brad.
I just wanted to congratulate you. I was wondering when you became lead detective on the Jussie Smollett case.
Why the naysaying, you nattering nabob of negativism, Brad? What is yes?
The guy from the press conference sounded, I swear, just like you, the laughing detective.
Thank you so much. You mean this guy? Oh, thanks for the call. This is Detective Word Nikki.
Detectives responded to the incident and interviewed him eventually at Northwestern Hospital, where he reported to us that the two offenders yelled racial and homophobic and political
homophobic
statements
is that
at
when
him.
words sound like
and
each other? They're
put a noose around his neck
homophobic.
and threw bleach on him.
A lot of
and
words.
then fled from the area.
So that basically was a hate crime by the detective right there. He doesn't even know how to pronounce
he hates
homophobia.
The English language.
Homophobic. It's Chicago is a homophobic
Listen,
activity.
there were so many things. It was racial. It was homophobic. There were so many issues. He was like conflating all of them together. Can we give a shout out to our people on Twitter, by the way?
Go right ahead.
We got Patio, who's on Twitter. We've got Steve. We got a lot of people on Twitter this morning.
What, you're just saying names right now? Yeah. Let's go from Holly, who I know is Holly from Hudson, but it's Holly, Illinois survivor. What color ribbon is that? She says not everyone thinks that Jussie Smollett is guilty. There's a video by Ianya. Do you know about popular culture, don't you, Carol?
I do know about.
Am I pronouncing her name right? Ianya says
Iyanla Vanzant. She's the one that does those interventions on the Oprah Network. So she's got, she is the life coach. She will change. But actually, Bruce, I feel like maybe you need to sit down with Iyanla Vanzant. She will be your life coach. She will change your life. She will bring you into the light and into the power of your truth.
Well, she says that he lied.
Yeah, no kidding.
But that's all he did, and we all do it, damn it. So we're all guilty. After all, it was...
We all go on Good Morning America, bring on the tears, talk about MAGA country and the fact that that was exactly why he was attacked, because of the horrible red hat wearing Trump-loving people. Right. Those are the victims. He's not the victims here.
No. It's like Mick Jagger said in Sympathy for the Devil. After all, it was you and me. We're all guilty here. So he's the victim. He's still the victim.
He was factually incorrect, but he was morally correct, right?
Well, there was a truthiness, as Stephen Colbert used to say when he was imitating Bill O'Reilly. Now he's just living off, thankfully, the presidency of Donald Trump. Otherwise, he would have tanked. Imagine if Trump doesn't get reelected, guys like Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel will go back into the corner
they will go
that
out
they
of
came from.
They have nothing to do.
But so it was just fascinating to me. You'll see the justification, the rationale, and there will be the mea culpa by Smollett at some point.
But here's an interesting point that was brought up to me, actually, by one of my makeup artists. In Chicago, you did not see the gay community rallying around Jussie Smollett. You did not see the black community rallying around Jussie Smollett because they knew the story stunk to high heaven. If there was an iota of truth, if there was any piece of it that at least sounded plausible, there would have been marches, there would have been outrage, there would have been press conference, and everyone's like, nope, I am out of it.
Well, and part of the problem is that, see, he was born a little too late. Those communities have already had their myths that have worked for them. For example, O.J. O.J., everybody knew he was guilty. The black community knew that he was guilty. If we ever saw a barber shop after the O.J. thing, oh, yeah. We, amongst themselves, they would talk that way. But to the white people, oh, yeah, O.J., because that was reparations for everything else. O.J., who preferred Jewish women to black women. No,
OJ,
that's our guy, O.J.
O.J. didn't identify as black.
No, not at all. He identified as a Buffalo Bill. And also Matthew Shepard. If you recall, a lot of people might not remember, but Matthew Shepard, or
yes,
go ahead and tell us.
A very tragic
story.
No,
I'm testing you because I don't like when you say sure.
No, of course.
Yeah.
No, he was that gay youth that was killed, what was it, like now 15, 20 years
More
ago?
than that, I think.
Yeah.
But the thing was they made it out to be a hate crime, and it was a cause célèbre for the gay community. But even now, books have been written. He wasn't killed because he was gay. He was killed in a drug deal that went bad.
I did
but
not
they
know that.
used. So next time when you want to interject and say that you know something,
I knew who
teacher,
he was.
Oh, teacher, I got the answer.
Was.
Well,
Come
you
on,
don't.
Bruce, I knew who he was, and now you're adding some information to me and to the listeners, and that's what this discourse is all about.
This discourse is about the relevant information. I don't need to say, oh, yeah, Matthew Shepard, that starts with an M and an S in his initials. Yeah, okay,
boo,
Carol.
Boo.
Okay, Carol. Yes, sit down, Carol. So, no, so it was a myth. But myths work because sometimes a myth is greater than the truth itself. For example, I'm not a fundamentalist. I don't necessarily believe.
I believe that's a myth.
That I'm not a fundamentalist.
I don't know
that
you are or that you aren't. Either way, it's a myth.
That I don't believe that the Garden of Eden necessarily occurred, and I might be smitten or smited or smote by some of the people who walk in. But if we can imagine the Garden of Eden, that's even more of a miracle than if it had actually existed. So
how did we get into the Garden of Eden?
Because myths matter.
From Jussie Smollett.
No, because Matthew Shepard was a myth. But the myth worked.
I feel
it
like
worked to help the cause of gay rights.
I feel like there's a big window between Matthew Shepard and the Garden of Eden. But you do you, Bruce.
Are you saying a myth is as good as a mile? Is that what you're saying? Thuckatash. All right, I know you wanted to talk about Russia.
Russia.
No, and I want to make sure that we get. No, you actually told me during the break that I'm an expert on everything culture, the best where you can get the best donut in Streeterville.
Jan Van Sand from.
Do you know how elitist that sounds to me?
That I know where to get the best donut? Because donuts are super elitist.
In downtown Chicago, nobody's ever heard of that. We all have to just go to our local Dunkin' Donuts.
Listen,
or the rest of the world, you elitists get to have, what's the name of this donut joint?
My favorite restaurant is Cracker Barrel, so I'm the furthest thing from elitist. But yes, there is a place in downtown Chicago near the Merchandise Mart called the Donut Vault that has the most ridiculously delicious donuts I've ever had.
That's like when they used to talk about gourmet hamburgers. It's still a hamburger, and it's still a donut. There's only so much you can do to a donut. Thank you, Homer Simpson.
Donuts.
My favorite Homer Simpson word or line is sacrilegious. When the pancakes, apparently flapjacks, hit the ceiling, and the syrup is dripping down from the ceiling, and Homer just opens his mouth like a turkey, allowing water to come into his mouth and drowning, and the syrup comes into his mouth, and he goes, sacrilegious.
My favorite one is beer, the cause of and solution to all life's problems. And fun fact, by the way, I have a Simpsons pinball machine in my living room, and it heckles you in the different voices and characters from The Simpsons as you do bad things in the pinball game.
Carol, let's do your audition. I'm sorry, Homer. I should never interview.
Really, the only word for it is...
I understand you do a lot of voices.
I do.
Can you just give us... This is an audition tape for you.
Sure.
Give us one.
Okay, Bruce, cool. Totally cool. You're totally a great radio host, okay? But I am going home.
That is South Park's... see, I don't know all the characters.
Eric Hartman.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you. I'll bust. Maybe every hour I can bust out a new character.
As far as I'm concerned, you could do the whole... Can I do the whole show as William F. Buckley? Is that all right?
I will let you do the whole show as William F. Buckley if I can do the rest of the show in a British accent.
That's fine, but it's a generic British accent.
No, it is not a generic British accent, you twit.
Oh, speaking of Brits, we have to pay homage to Peter Tork, who died. Wait, he's not British. Or was he? Was he the British monkey?
They were all British.
No, they weren't. Michael Nesmith was liquid paper, I think. His mother invented liquid paper.
Davy Jones was British.
I interviewed Davy Jones once on Fox TV. He was coming around promoting something.
Did you know that Marsha Brady was the president of his fan club?
You're going to trump me on everything here today, aren't you? No, but I interviewed him, and he had been Oliver in the London production. He was the Artful Dodger in Oliver, the London production of it.
Did you think
he was dreamy? And so we sang. We feted him with. Consider Yourself, the entire Channel 32 staff, Davy Jones. So that was my brush with greatness. I got to interview Davy Jones.
You had to learn the words to Consider Yourself.
But, well, of course, I knew the words. Everybody knows Consider Yourself. But that's my brush with the monkey greatness. But Peter Tork died, and that's part of my childhood. It's, You weren't around then, were you? For the
I
Monkees?
feel like on.
Do you care about the Monkees?
Do you remember when Fox 32 was WFLD
Yes.
back in the day?
Yes.
So they used to have Monkees reruns on. And so
See, I saw
caught
them in
up-
the original
I
run.
caught up with the Monkees when I was
Yeah.
very, very young. I liked Mickey. He was the one that I liked, Mickey Dolenz.
See, I remember Mickey Dolenz when he was on a show called Circus Boy.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm just trying to show you how antiquated I am, which really resonates with our demographic. There's no question about it.
So,
All right.
so did the Peter Tork thing? Like, did that have a like? Like
It hurt.
When Prince died, like I was super upset
Yeah, I
for
didn't
like
care about
many
Prince.
days. Many days. Did you like pour one out for Peter, or what did you do to fet him?
I did not. It hurt that he died.
Yeah.
When Prince died, it didn't hurt. I mean, I felt bad.
It didn't hurt when Prince died?
No, he was a youngster.
What's wrong
I
with
mean,
you? Have you no heart?
I liked Purple Rain. It was nice, but
He's
I
a
don't.
genius,
I
Prince.
admit that I'm sure he was a genius. It just didn't matter to me that much
You
because nothing.
just hate geniuses.
Let's
just be honest about
I used
it.
to do a show with Dan Proft, and I was the guy who had no cultural references beyond 1970, and then he'd pick up the slack after that. And I think it's going to work here too.
Yes.
Although
yes. I'm good till about like 2000, and then there's sort of like a PTSD time, and then some of the more relevant ones. So there's this like kind of period of time where I don't know, I must have been working too hard or something.
And you just lost touch.
I just lost touch.
Well, it's
with
like when I
everything,
went to
yeah.
law school and buried myself in that. I don't know anything that occurred during any of that time culturally, so I'm lost there. But we've got callers who will pick up the slack for us at 312-642-5600. I'm sorry. Make this a technical workshop, but I forgot. Okay, fine. We're going to break U.S. Naval Observatory time at 5:51.
Are you always time challenged, or is this like a Friday special?
No, this is just because I'm in my dotage right now. I'm losing it.
Okay, got it.
That's the only problem. So I think we kind of wrapped up the Jussie Smollett thing for this hour, but we'll be doing
we'll
it
be
again.
Back with more hitting
No,
Jussie
no, it's
Smollett,
Jussie
hard-hitting
Smollett.
news.
No, Eddie Johnson was really good. That was his moment.
When we discovered the actual motive, quite frankly, it pissed everybody off.
Hey! I mean,
I loved this Eddie Johnson.
That's
I need, I could inject that Eddie Johnson straight into my veins. I want to see that every day. I want him coming down on the gangs and the shootings and all the things, all the real issues that we have in the Chicago
this
area.
is going to make the Chicago police look too good. Now that it's overcompensating for what happened after Laquan McDonald.
It gives them a starting point. It gives them a jumping off point to extend their greatness and to have that comeback. So potentially maybe this is the tipping point for the Chicago Police Department. Maybe Jussie Smollett did us all a favor. Maybe this is going to be just a new era of policing.
Well, I'm thinking, had Karl Rove come up with this false flag operation, if he had come up with this, it couldn't have been any better, because it's making Chicago look great. Make Chicago look great again.
Right, exactly.
Because now...
What's that, Kaga? Makaga? Makaga? Make Maklaga?
Maybe they could sell that at your donut shop.
Yes, we can do it with some red hats, and you can wear the Maklaga hats.
Hey, I know you're entrepreneurial. You're all about this,
Yes.
and we're going to talk about your business and everything. Why don't you start a tourist business in your neighborhood? This is where Jussie Smollett... You know that those double-decker buses are going to stop there now.
It's going to be amazing.
Oh, we don't want to see Water Tower. We don't want to see. We don't want to see the Chicago River. We want our Wendella boat cruise to come right up to where Jussie Smollett. This is where it didn't happen.
You can see it from the river. Down the
Yeah.
river, you can just go straight
On your
down News,
right
on
is
Street.
where the men in the MAGA hats did not attack Jussie Smollett.
Which, by the way, these giant men with 12-pack abs that,
Right.
if there was anything if you didn't know them, would in no way represent somebody who was yelling, "This is MAGA country." These were amazing.
You're stereotyping? Are you saying that MAGA people are all
I'm saying they
have beer bellies and
I'm just
are
saying I've
living
never
on
seen,
opioids?
I've never
Yes.
seen people with 12-pack. 6-pack abs maybe. I've never seen 12-pack abs before. It's amazing.
12-pack ab people are definitely leftists. That's what we have to aspire to.
No, they just definitely are not.
They don't exist in this
They
universe.
are spending all their time in the gym. They have no
Right.
idea what's going on.
And they certainly don't know how to pull off the greatest crime of the century.
They're not walking around with bleach and a noose.
Bruce
Pretty
Wolf
sure.
and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy on AM 560 The Answer.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
When you hire a new employee, do you really know who you're hiring? What if you could do thorough research on potential employees and avoid future HR conflicts and trouble? It may sound like a daunting task, but with ETS Intelligence LLC, it's easy to get all the info on a potential hire. ETS is one of the leading private detective and security agencies in the U.S. Their client roster includes major law firms, insurance companies, high net worth individuals, and more. Our world can be a dangerous place to live and do business in. ETS Intelligence makes you safe by specializing in complex and high-tech investigations, background checks, computer forensics, surveillance, forensic accounting, and more. Let ETS Intelligence be the vetting intelligence agency for your company or business. They also provide personal security services. ETS Intelligence LLC, owned and operated by experienced active duty law enforcement. Call toll-free 800-230-7429. 800-230-7429.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. At Ace, save on everything you need to take care of your home. Get your coupon at acehardware.com and save 25% on a regular priced item under $50. That's right, 25% off on the product of your choice. And only Ace has the brands you love and the advice you trust. So hurry in and get your 25% savings only at your neighborhood Ace, the helpful place. Offer valid with coupon at participating stores through February 28th. Limit 1. Exclusions apply. See coupon.
Looking for ways to save with your Medicare plan? Walgreens is a preferred network pharmacy with many plans nationwide, which could mean lower copays for you. So bring your prescriptions to a Walgreens pharmacy today to start saving. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Walgreens participates as a preferred network pharmacy with United Healthcare, Cigna HealthSpring, and Express Scripts Medicare. For a complete list of available plans, please contact 1-800-MEDICARE. TTY users should call 1-877-486-2048. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or consult www.medicare.gov. Other pharmacies are available in our network.
Trans ideology is in our schools, government, churches, even our homes.
We need to start taking some action in stopping this total madness.
Join the Illinois Family Institute for our Trans Ideology Worldview Conference, Saturday, March 16th at Stone Church in Orland Park, with Dr. Michelle Curtella, authors Denise Schick and Douglas Wilson, and Walt Heyer, a former transgender, with encouragement for others.
Let me help you realize who you are.
The Illinois Family Institute Worldview Conference, biblical training for today's culture, 10 a.m. Saturday, March 16th at Stone Church in Orland Park. $20 per person, $50 per family. To attend, call 708-781-9328. 708-781-9328 or visit IllinoisFamily.org.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. At Ace, save on everything you need to take care of your home. Get your coupon at acehardware.com and save 25% on a regular priced item under $50. That's right, 25% off on the product of your choice. And only Ace has the brands you love and the advice you trust. So hurry in and get your 25% savings only at your neighborhood Ace, the helpful place. Offer valid with coupon at participating stores through February 28th. Limit 1. Exclusions apply. See coupon.
Looking for ways to save with your Medicare plan? Walgreens is a preferred network pharmacy with many plans nationwide, which could mean lower copays for you. So bring your prescriptions to a Walgreens pharmacy today to start saving. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Walgreens participates as a preferred network pharmacy with United Healthcare, Cigna HealthSpring, and Express Scripts Medicare. For a complete list of available plans, please contact 1-800-MEDICARE. TTY users should call 1-877-486-2048. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or consult www.medicare.gov. Other pharmacies are available in our network.
AmericanEagle.com has been fortunate to develop thousands of business websites over the past 15 years. Businesses just like yours. Don't think because they advertise on the radio and mention big clients like Portillo's, WeatherTech, and Dairy Queen that they won't give your small to medium-sized business the same great service. Small and medium-sized companies are a huge part of AmericanEagle.com's clients. AmericanEagle.com's continued success is because they're capable of a wide range of projects from small to extremely large. They view all clients as long-term partners on every internet endeavor. When you're looking for an experienced and reputable partner for any of your internet-related projects, consider AmericanEagle.com. They'll likely be able to show you a project they've already done that's similar to what your company needs. AmericanEagle.com, the only name you need to know for website development, hosting, and maintenance. You can reach AmericanEagle.com on the web or at 773-NETWORK. That's 773-NETWORK.
Let's face it, everyone loves to shop. From my experience of meeting a famous politician in the Hermes store in Paris,
to my unforgettable experience test driving my first 600 horsepower car, in which I said, I'll take it before it even hit 60 miles an hour.
we are pretty sure everyone has at least one unforgettable shopping experience. Hello, we are Carrie and
Ken,
founders of Income Store. Have you ever considered shopping for your next income? And we don't mean your next job. Did you know that you can walk into Income Store's website through a door on the left or a door on the right?
if you're just starting out or you simply have more time than money, you're going to enter our website on the left. If you've got more money than time, then definitely the right door is for you.
If you're looking to increase revenue in your home or business and would like to create a brand new, greatest shopping memory, all you have to do is change where you shop. Check out one of the two doors at IncomeStore.com.
That's IncomeStore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy, and we were talking during the break that Carol had never heard of me before today. She heard of me, but she had never...
I followed you on Twitter, but I've never actually heard you.
Heard me or seen me, even though I was on Channel 32, I was on Channel 5. You don't even care.
The legend.
You don't even know that I keyed a car and got fired by Fox for that. And you were an investment banker before you became a media maven.
I am a recovering investment
and I just want to know,
it's a 12-step program.
Well, I just want to know, were you upset when Rahm Emanuel leapfrogged you and he got the vigorish on the deal between Bill Daley and Bruce Rauner that netted him $15 million and he just studied ballet?
Listen, yeah. I like a good deal, and I'm not going to hate on anyone that goes and gets theirs.
Why not?
Go and get theirs because that is America. That is America.
See, I'm all about the envy. And that's why I'm basically a liberal and want to eliminate inequality. I don't care that we all get wealthy. I don't care that that I would get wealthier in terms of real dollars.
Them to be poorer.
I want them to be the same as I am.
I had somebody on Twitter make that argument. Somebody tried to tell me that poverty was relative, and I was like, it's not relative. What you're talking about is envy.
No. The whole idea of human existence is that nobody has anything more than you do. Not that you are actually going to live forever.
Right.
Don't you understand?
Right. Well, I have no parents, so does that mean that I can go to somebody else and say you have to give me one of your parents?
All right. I'm going to we'll continue this philosophical discussion and talk about Jussie Smollett when we come back. Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy. Let's go to the newsroom.
Here's one of the stories we're following. Empire actor Jussie Smollett is denying that he staged a racist and homophobic.
He went back to the set of Empire after being freed on bond. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Jussie Smollett trying to get support from his TV co-stars, maintaining he's still a hate crime victim, that it wasn't a hoax. His lawyers put out a statement.
It reads as follows. Today we witnessed an organized law enforcement spectacle that has no place in the American legal system. The presumption of innocence, a bedrock in the search for justice, was trampled upon at the expense of Mr. Smollett.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Chicago. Police say he made up the story, paid the guys who staged last month's attack. Superintendent Eddie Johnson was angry.
To put the national spotlight on Chicago for something that is both egregious and untrue is simply shameful.
Smollett's due back in court next month. A do-over in North Carolina. They'll hold a new congressional election to fill a still empty House seat, ordered unanimously by the state elections board over absentee ballot fraud suspicions.
Neither I nor any of the leadership of my campaign were aware of or condoned the improper activities that have been testified to in this hearing.
Republican Mark Harris had a narrow lead over Democrat Dan McCready in November's election. President Trump will get directly involved today, trying to resolve the trade dispute with China. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
Both sides are working on memorandums of understanding that would form the basis of a final trade deal, with the memorandums covering agriculture, non-tariff barriers, services, technology transfers, and intellectual property. The U.S. and China have set a March 1st deadline to negotiate an agreement before American tariffs on $200 billion in Chinese imports rise to 25% from 10%. President Trump has signaled a willingness to extend the deadline if negotiators are making progress. Dave?
And John, he'll meet with China's top trade negotiators later today. A former Trump advisor ordered to be quiet about the criminal case against him. Federal judge expanding Roger Stone's gag order after he posted an image of her in the crosshairs of a gun. Stone can't talk on the TV, radio, or internet or post anything about his case. This is Fox News.
Good morning. It's 24 degrees with clear skies in Chicago at 6:02 on AM 560 The Answer, WIND Chicago. I'm Perry Williams. Empire actor Jussie Smollett is denying that he staged a racist and homophobic attack last month in Chicago. TMZ reports he apologized to the Empire cast and crew yesterday and proclaimed his innocence. Smollett returned to work after being released from the Cook County Jail. He's facing felony disorderly conduct over allegations he paid two brothers to stage the attack because he was dissatisfied with his salary on the Fox show. In other news, Toni Preckwinkle is distancing herself from a longtime campaign advisor after he compared an opponent in the Chicago mayor's race to the Nazis. Scott Cizik, posted a photo on Facebook yesterday suggesting Lori Lightfoot was like the Nazis at the Nuremberg trials. The post was in response to a judge's opinion claiming Lightfoot was reprimanded as a young prosecutor because she received misleading advice from her superiors. In sports news, the White Sox kickoff exhibition play tomorrow in Arizona. The Southsiders play split squad games against the Dodgers and A's, and the Bears are parting ways with veteran tight end Deion Sims. The team officially released him yesterday with 1 year left on his 3-year, $18 million deal. The move frees up $6 million in cap space. This news report is sponsored by La Quinta Inns and Suites. Want to recharge when you travel for business? Get a boost and stay at La Quinta by Wyndham. You can charge 5 devices in room and recharge yourself with a pillow top mattress and a bright side breakfast. Book now at lq.com. That's lq.com and win at business. AM 560 news time is 6:04. Where are the cars this morning? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Sean Hannity says this is not the same Democratic Party.
This is now a radical extreme party that wants to nationalize pretty much every aspect of our economy. This party is so out of touch. This is a new, radical, extreme, Democratic Socialist Party.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joel Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
When you fire up a John Deere 1 Series tractor, you can tackle the job without wrestling the attachments. Hook up everything from a front loader to a drive-over mower deck in no time. So you can haul gravel, cut grass, or do any job in between. Because when things just click, work just gets done. And now get a 1 Series for just $99 a month at your nearest participating John Deere dealer. Nothing runs like a Deere. Run with us. Search John Deere 1 Series for more. 0% annual percentage rate. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Get up first thing, smoke a cigarette. Before lunch, after lunch. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm kind of feeling like I've lost about 4 hours of every day. I decided I needed to find an alternative. So I started looking, and then Juul came up. I did both for a while. Eventually, I just switched over, and it's very quick.
Mimi made the switch July 2015. Make the switch at JUUL.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Improving your home? Why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show next weekend only at the Tinley Park Convention Center. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home, inside and out. Get trusted advice on your upcoming projects as you speak with local and national experts who will help you with all of your home improvement needs. And be sure to attend the free expert seminars and live cooking shows all weekend. See quality indoor and outdoor furniture, amazing deals on mattresses and adjustable beds, the latest appliances by Grand, and so much more. Plus, don't miss the huge plant sale by Ted's Greenhouse. And test drive the new Transit Connect by Ford right from the show. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the huge Home and Garden Show next weekend at the Tinley Park Convention Center on Harlem Avenue north of I-80 with free admission and parking. For details, visit TinleyParkShow.com. That's TinleyParkShow.com.
Great news! There's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price, and it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save.
At 6:06 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
In Hawthorne Woods, there's a crash with injuries on Fairfield at Holmes, north of Old McHenry. Traffic's a little congested on the inbound Kennedy around Cumberland. The outbound side is still okay. No delays to report on the Edens. Inbound Eisenhower traffic hitting the brakes. Manheim to Harlem and California to Racine, where a crash has the right lane blocked. 40 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 30. Down Stevenson, it's still going Harlem to Kedzie. 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 34. Inbound Ryan, 24 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 17 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 423. Tollways are looking good. That's traffic. I'm Jim Palamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Sunny today, high 38. Clouds tonight, low 29. Some rain tomorrow, high 42. Morning snow showers on Sunday. Otherwise cloudy, windy, and cold, the high 35, but temperatures dropping into the upper 20s. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 6:30. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Ding, 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 ding. Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth, whoever she is, in for Dan and Amy. Carol and I follow each other on Twitter, and I know that you're entrepreneurial, and, I heard you were on WGN once, but I've never actually listened to you. I've spent an hour with you on the radio, and actually, you're really great.
Oh, well,
you really are.
Thank you. And you are really great,
that's
too, Bruce.
That's nice of you.
Oh,
so,
yeah, I'm going to give you a heart. Heart, Bruce.
Thank you.
Heart.
Let the record show that Carol is drawing a heart.
A heart.
Right now.
Yes.
But I thought we'd get into a fight because
Fantastic.
we're not going to have much time together.
It's Feisty Friday. We might as well.
Yeah, really. And I like your alliteration.
Yeah, thank you.
So there was a story that I circulated yesterday I thought we might talk about. There's this... what's his name? Wilcox, I think. Does it
really matter what his name is, Bruce?
It really doesn't. It doesn't matter what my name is or your name is. It says
some guy on the interwebs
said most U.S. teens see anxiety and depression as a major problem among their peers.
Yeah.
And among the findings in this is that teens don't really have as a priority having a family someday. They don't, they want to have a fulfillment and a job.
I think that's actually good as a teen. That's probably not a goal as a teen. That's a goal as you get
So in other words, you should go
older.
through your teen years.
Trying not to have a family. That's what your teen years are about.
Right. You should be avoiding it because we believe in protracted adolescence and nobody's supposed to grow up until they're in their 50s now.
Right.
We're just going to live.
Nobody's ever supposed to grow up.
Well, I mean, you want to have a certain youthfulness and everything, but you don't want to suffer from Peter Pan syndrome.
Correct. You don't want to go full Michael Jackson.
Right.
Right.
So, but on the other, so we were discussing, and this gets very personal, that you're married, but you're childless.
Child-free.
See, already, I get given the pejorative of childless.
So the way I explain it is I have no pets, no plants, and no kids. Nothing that I need to water and nothing that I can break.
Okay.
That's the description.
Well, let's discuss your anxiety here because I actually have 5 children and 6 grandchildren.
So it's perfect.
Okay.
We have 2.5 kids between us, and it all averages out. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yes, but the problem with America is we're suffering from a thanatos, which is a death wish. We're not creating the generation upon generation. We're not doing that, and that's why, in fact, we probably need immigrants. Because we're not replenishing the supply.
It's absolutely true. And they tend to have more younger kids, and as our population ages and we have more boomers and the like, it all, averages out.
But I actually I hate to admit this.
Are you are you judging me? Is that what you're?
Yes, I'm judging you.
Me?
I'm judging you.
That's okay, and I'm fine with that. Here's the thing.
Why is it okay? Well, doesn't that bother you that somebody would judge you?
No, I don't really care. I don't. Here's the great news: is that
Why
I've
don't
got
you
a lot...
care? I care when people judge me all the time.
No, I don't. I don't let people live rent free in my head. It doesn't.
People live rent free. I can tell you, 85,000 people live rent free in my head.
You've got a whole apartment. You've got Del Boca Vista going on and a whole retirement community in your
Seinfeld's
head.
parents live in my head.
In Del Boca
Frank
Vista.
Gorshin, who was the Riddler, who was one of Seinfeld's parents' contemporaries at Boca Del Vista, lives in my head.
Yeah,
they all live in my head, but nobody lives in Carol's head.
No, doesn't bother me. People can say whatever they want. It doesn't bother me.
Why doesn't it bother you?
Why
Don't you
should
care
it?
how you look to the rest of society?
Listen, what I care about is how I feel about myself, and what everybody else feels, that's their problem. And if I
But God said, "Be fruitful and multiply." It's right there in Genesis. Yeah, I mean, you don't believe that?
I'm a contrarian. I'm a contrarian, Bruce. I like to.
What sect of Judaism is that? Contrarian.
The Reformed contrarians.
I've been accused of being a contrarian.
Yeah.
Like I used to work at like NBC5.
Yep.
Which is right near. I worked there. I couldn't afford to live in your neighborhood. But what I'm saying is that they used to call me a contrarian because I was like the House conservative there. Oh, you don't believe that? You were dropped on your head as a youth.
Here's the thing: is that when it came to the decision on whether I wanted to have children or not, and I have a lot of family issues, lots of deaths that I've contended with, lots of issues in there. At the end of the day, I'm a control freak, and if I do something, I want to do it well. And I didn't feel like I could be a mother well and also serve what I wanted to do well and be the best me. And so I made a very selfish decision in one way to do what I wanted to do. But I also think
Thank
that
you,
it's
Oprah.
fair.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to the kids as well, because you wouldn't want to bring a child into the world. I think too many people are outsourcing the raising of their children.
right.
It's not something that I would want to do. And the great news is I have 9 godsons, nieces, nephews.
Yeah, but
like
what
a
about your
family
own kids?
That I rent them. I don't buy them. I rent them.
Grandchildren are
I
for
don't-
renting. That's what you do.
We
you come
have,
in
we
there.
have an extended family. I don't have to pay for their college. I rent them. We have fun. I give them back. We give them life lessons. We give them back at the end of the day.
Okay, here's your
Yeah.
problem. And normally if I charge
Here's my-
$200
here's
an
my-
hour, I
here's my
charge
problem.
here's
Thank you, Ayanla Van Sant.
I charge $200 an hour, but we've got to truncate
Bruce
this, and I've
Wolf,
got to get
life
to the
coach.
point.
Life coaching
I
by
would
Bruce
say
Wolf.
master therapist. Here's life coach. Anybody could be a life coach. No, here's the problem. You need to have control, and it's not for you to control. You do the best job you can. And you don't have to be perfect. The point is to get them into the universe. Now you're going to feel guilty the rest of the day that you don't have any kids.
No, that's a nice thing about
I'm
me.
trying to live
I have
rent-free in your head.
I have no shame. I have no guilt. I don't care. Say whatever you want to me. It's all good.
No,
It's all
actually,
good.
we probably all have our roles
Yes.
in the universe. I don't actually think that at the end of the day, I hate to use that cliche, that we all actually have that much control. Like, I like to think, I made the decision to do this in life. No. Did you ever see Martin Landau in that movie with... where he's the law professor, and the Matt Damon says, you made the choice to be a law professor? And he said, no, what choice? I was chosen to do this. And yeah, you probably are chosen. You think you have control, but you don't.
Well, you have
You
control
probably
over
don't.
whether you have kids or not.
No, you don't.
To some extent.
No, you don't.
Well, to not have kids, there are ways that you can control that.
Sure, of course, but I'm telling you that there are guiding forces in our lives that a lot of it's genetically predetermined.
I was here to bring my insight and wisdom to the masses, not to just 1 or 2 people, Bruce.
Right, you're the Mother Teresa of talk radio.
I'm just the mother.
Yes.
I'm the
Yeah,
mother something
I get
of
that.
talk radio and television.
Hey, do you? Let's give a little plug because I know we're not paying you anything today, right? Well, to your business. What is your business?
I'm paying dearly for this.
Okay,
Bruce.
right. You're going to go complain to Marcus, our program director, afterwards. What did you put me in with this Meshuggah here? But you have a certain business that you're involved in.
Yeah, so I have my hands are in a number of different pies, but one of the businesses that I have is something called Future File, which is a legacy and wishes planning system that helps you to organize your information and your wishes and provides a roadmap to your loved ones. So if you enter an aging issue an incapacitation, an emergency, or pass away, that your loved ones have access to everything they need to help save them time, to help save them money, to help save them grief. And this is actually very personal. It came along. My father had created one for my sister and I, and he was in a freak accident in 2013. And we had
How
to grab
ironic.
it.
Horrible, too.
It's horrible, but at the same time, it was a huge gift to us that he gave us this file and this kit that we were able to grab. And we had the power of attorney. We had his medical history. We were able to make decisions in the hospital. He ultimately didn't make it. And then we had this information on how to lay the body to rest and how to wrap up his personal affairs. And he saved us hundreds of hours, more than $10,000. And my sister and I are allies instead of adversaries because we weren't fighting over what is it that we need to do.
Families do fight at those critical junctures.
It's horrendous. So futurefile.com, it's a kit. It's less than $100. And it's the best legacy and gift that you can leave someone. And it's really our love letter. You know, our father gave this to us. We wanted to do this to help other people.
But people think, what do I need this for? I mean, you know, you get together, you open the safe deposit box, and then you go. What do you do? Why is spending less than $100 going to save you hundreds of hours?
It's going to because most people don't know if there is a will, where to find it. They don't know if where different accounts are located. They don't know who are the beneficiaries of what particular thing. And then there's the emotional issues of, oh, you know, Dad left behind his favorite tie. Well, I like that tie. No, well, I like that tie. Who gets the favorite tie? Who gets
Solomon-like decision. You cut the tie in half. Yeah, that's what.
But these are the things that I know it sounds, you know, very flip right now, but these are the things in a time of grief that really rip families apart. And so to give your loved ones the opportunity to know where all of your information is, to be able to make decisions, to be able to honor your wishes. I mean, the horror stories that we've heard about people fighting over whether to cremate or bury a loved one, you know, whether somebody gets a plot next to their mom or they have to go to a different cemetery, just simple things like that.
Who gets to give the eulogy?
Exactly.
Holly. Good morning, Holly, from Hudson. Formerly from Hudson. Good morning.
Hi, Holly.
Yes. Good morning, Carol. I love you on Twitter, and I was very happy to hear you on today. You're the sacrificial lamb, having to be in that studio with Bruce, keeping with the Jewish.
Thank you. Thank you
theme.
for your empathy and for standing by me, Holly, in my time of need. I appreciate it.
Well, I can tell you're a newbie because you laughed at the Cujo. That's what Michael Jordan used to say. Because we've all heard that for a really long time, every day, forever.
You're getting tired of it, Holly, aren't you?
Holly,
Yes,
here's the good news about me is that it doesn't matter if I've heard it 95 times. I will laugh the 96th time. It's just my I'm very easily amused. I have a very low bar here.
So, Holly, you have a contribution about the children. You got kids.
Well, I wanted to tell you. Okay, so I have enough God-given maternal instinct to raise a puppy out of a trunk of a car. But by some miracle, I now have 3 functioning, almost all adult children, and I reflect back on it. I have no idea how it happened. It's not my instinct at all. I'm not a mom. I don't know how it happened. So you really underestimated your ability to bring human beings into your life.
I actually feel like I would have been an amazing mother. I just didn't want. I'm just being selfish. I didn't want to sacrifice the amazing opportunities that I've had in order to give myself to doing that. So I actually think I would have been quite good at it. I just didn't feel like.
Holly, we're trying to make Carol feel real bad right now, and I think we're doing a nice tag team job of it. Go for the kill right now, Holly.
Well, okay, here's the deal.
By the way, I feel like this is like a Jewish grandmother intervention.
It's totally.
Sit down. You need to have the kids, Carol. Let me tell you, I want to have some grandkids here.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead, Holly.
There's nothing like having your 19-year-old say, I don't know how you did it, Mom. Am I going to be able to do the same job that you and Dad did when I have kids? Are my kids going to be as great as I am?
It's amazing. And by the way, Holly, they're not going to be as great as you, but you still did a wonderful
job. Hey, Holly, I got one thing to say to you. Kudos for the phone call. Thanks so much, Holly. Thank you, Holly. So, yeah, all right, enough with the guilt trip. And I got it away in the early
By the way,
part of the show.
do I look guilty at all?
No, I think you're masking it.
Are you disappointed?
I think you're masking it.
Do you think I have it buried deeply on the inside, and I'm going to go cry in a corner?
No, what you're
going
to do is you're going to go to Streeterville at that Nouveau Riche donut shop that you patronize. Which, and I thought, what's the name of that donut shop again?
The Donut Vault.
I mean, really. I mean, I thought I had heard of Glazed and Confused, which I think went out of business.
Glazed and Infused. It was a total play on it. Yes, Glazed and
So
Infused.
I don't even know the name of the.
It's all right. I'm here to educate.
I was trying to name drop, and I did a bad job of it.
I'm here to educate.
All right. You know what? You know who I am smarter than? I'm smarter than Commander Ward Nicky, who spoke.
Okay. The boss just corrected me. Please forgive me. I'm supposed to go through the timeline of our investigation.
Timeline.
It's okay.
He's laughing. He's laughing during this.
I love that he's laughing.
He's laughing, and then he commits
Detectives
homophobia.
responded to the incident and interviewed him eventually at Northwestern Hospital, where he reported to us that the two offenders yelled racial and homophobic and political statements at him.
Never gets older.
Homophobic. No, I'm going to laugh about that from like now until the end of time.
What would be heterophobic? We have a rainbow coalition. We have homophobes. We have homophobics.
Homonyms and homophones.
Yes, and hominoids.
Right.
Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth, we have ended our discussion on the fact that she had 3 fewer children than she should have had. We'll talk more about Jussie Smollett. And don't forget, Brett Baer's coming up at the top of the hour to talk about Jussie Smollett because it's the story everybody's talking about. In for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Another year and you still haven't done anything about your company's network and computer system. Will your employees struggle to get by on a dated system with no IT personnel to fix it quickly? Or maybe you're thinking everything's running perfectly and it'll be fine. Until it isn't. Whether you've experienced technical trouble or not, when you do, it costs your company money. And it doesn't have to. Don't wait for a crisis. Make 2019 the year you're prepared for anything technology throws at you with Turnkey IT. Turnkey IT helps set you up for success and gets in front of the many technical issues that can overwhelm a business. They specialize in the preventative steps to keep you going. Have Turnkey do a complimentary network audit of your systems, even if you have a current IT company, so you know exactly where you stand in the ever-evolving technology world. A second opinion never hurts. And for a limited time, get free lunch for the decision makers of your company, courtesy of Turnkey.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros, so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Under current Illinois state law, you can lose your home if your real estate taxes are 8 months past due. 50,000 Cook County property owners learned that the hard way this year. People facing financial hardship can't afford to pay the taxes, can have their properties sold for a fraction of the value of the property. As your mayor, I would change that.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
The quivers, the shivers, goosebumps. That's what our customers say before 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning repairs their furnace. Call us. We'll fix it right, stand by our work, and give you our straightforward pricing, which means no hourly charges. How's that for goosebumps? Right now, get big savings on any heating repair. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
But hey, I'm buying a huge flat screen TV so I can finally see it without my glasses.
Why not just get LASIK at the LASIK Vision Institute? That's what I'm doing.
My glasses and contacts are a pain. I'd love to finally get rid of these, but who can afford LASIK?
You can. Because the LASIK Vision Institute is offering dramatically low prices, as low as $220 per eye with an absolutely free consultation. Text START to 350-350. The LASIK Vision Institute has already performed over 1 million procedures. They use advanced FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Better vision, better value. The LASIK Vision Institute. Make this the year you finally get LASIK for as low as $220 per eye. Text START to 350-350. You'll see for free if LASIK is right for you. That's START to 350-350.
I got my bottle of Balance of Nature. Oh, yeah. I went to their website, balanceofnature.com. And again, I typed Chicago in the promo code for 35% off my first order of fruits and veggies for Balance of Nature. You know, we're in the thick of it, the cold and flu season here in Chicago, and everyone's sniffling and sneezing and coughing. I'm around kids a lot, and I want to avoid getting sick. So I know that I have to boost my immune system. And a great way to do that is with the fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature. We're all busy, and it's hard to get enough fruits and veggies, and that's where Balance of Nature comes in. 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies in a capsule to boost your immune system all winter long. Folks, the testimonials are real. I've met Dr. Douglas Howard and his wife and son. Dr. Howard is the founder and creator of Balance of Nature, and he showed me the emails. We played the voicemails of real people who use Balance of Nature to get healthier and stay healthy. That should be you. So don't wait another day. Try it now before you get sick. And again, 35% off your order by using the promo code Chicago when you go to balanceofnature.com or simply call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751.
AM 560. The Answer.
Boom! Bruce Wolf. Carol Roth, entrepreneur. CNBC.
Fox Business.
Fox Business, I'm sorry. Wharton graduate,
Formerly.
I found out. You went to Wharton.
I did.
So I was going to try, I went to Northwestern. No, I went to Wharton. Well, so did Donald Trump. Okay.
That's right. Me and the POTUS.
His
Wharton
education
grads.
didn't hurt him none, but you live in Chicago.
I do.
So you actually get to vote. I don't get to vote because I moved out of Chicago in 1958. So although I left my wife's wedding dress at the Drake Hotel. Like Rahm Emanuel left his wife's wedding dress.
Are you still married?
We're still married.
Amazing.
Yeah,
So she forgave you for that.
I call myself a serial monogamist with the same woman. Yeah,
I
we
like
just
that.
Because you
How
are
long have you been
constantly
married
growing.
for?
It'll be we've been married for 43 years.
Oh, mazel. That's amazing.
Thank you. So who are you going to vote for in the election?
I'm not that I'm not disclosing.
Oh no,
I'm not disclosing that. I'm not disclosing that. Right
well, I mean, we're at a radio
I
show.
I know.
You got to give.
Who do you want me to vote for? Not that I'm going to actually follow your instructions.
I came out for Bill Daley, and I'll tell you why. It was very realpolitik to do that because I hate the Daleys. I mean, because I hate the fact that they have a dynasty. I hate that they're cheaters. He cheated on his insurance exam. Richie Daley cheated on the bar exam. At least there's a rebuttable presumption that they cheated on it. You do know that I took the SAT for Derek Rose, of course. Okay. Anyway,
Bill Daley.
Yeah, so I like Bill Daley because the unions have control over the other candidates, and Bill Daley seems to be the most anti-union candidate. That's why. Who would you like?
So you're trying to get this out of me. This is a very challenging situation because I think that Chicago needs a change, but it's a very complicated city with a lot of complicated issues, financial issues, and criminal issues.
Blah.
Yeah,
Come on, give me what's the thing? Where's the juice? What do you care about?
Money. I care about money, taxes.
Okay.
I want somebody who is not going to be crazy in terms of raising taxes.
So that's none of the candidates.
Well, that's part of the problem, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're never going to be invited on this show again.
That's all right.
Because you've got
but
to
I won't be
able
offended about
You
that.
got to give.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not giving.
Listen, we talked about no children, but I'd be happy to give
I don't care about your personal life. I care about your politics. This is a political show, and you don't have an opinion. You're giving me this blather, Wharton grad?
I have lots of opinions. I'm just not disclosing my vote in this particular scenario.
You remind me of the newspaper I used to work for, the community newspaper, the Learner newspapers. Oh, we don't endorse any candidates because we don't want to alienate any advertisers.
I'm not excited about any of I'm not excited about any of them.
Who are you the most excited about among the 14? I'm going to guess
challenging.
I'm going to say you probably. Who would you like? Jeremiah Joyce? I don't know.
As I said, the big issue for me is that the tax issue is driving people out of the city between property taxes and then obviously what's going on in Illinois. Somebody
with pensions and everything. So, okay, another vote for Bill Daley. Thanks so much. Carol Roth in with me, Bruce Wolf. We're in for Dan and Amy. Let's go to the newsroom right now. And Perry Williams.
Good morning. It's 23 degrees with clear skies in Chicago at 6:31 on AM 560 The Answer. Chicago. I'm Perry Williams. Defense lawyers for the man accused of kidnapping a U of I scholar are asking for a bit more time. Brent Christensen's lawyers yesterday asked the judge to start his trial in July instead of April. They say they need more time to determine Christensen's mental state. Christensen is charged with kidnapping Ying Zhang from the U of I campus back in 2017. He faces the death penalty if convicted. In other news, there's a price tag to go along with the new state law that has Illinois taxpayers paying for abortions. WICS-TV in Springfield reported last night that state figures show taxpayers paid over $300,000 for abortions in the first half of last year. Numbers for the final half of the year were not available. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is putting the state's private school scholarship program on a path to die. The governor's new budget would cap donations to the Invest in Kids scholarship at $50 million, about half of what it was under Governor Rauner. Pritzker then wants to phase out the program over the next 3 years. This news report is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Great news! There's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price, and it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save. AM 560 News Time is 6:33. How bad is traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Winter stinks. Snow, ice, freezing temperatures. More snow. Escape Chicago and join Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. You'll stay at the Marvel Residences Luxury Resort in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. It's a beautiful, all-inclusive resort located between Rainforest Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. Don't wait to book your Passport to Paradise trip with AM 560 and Apple Vacations. Visit 560theanswer.com/passport. That's 560theanswer.com/passport.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and you'll have to wait until spring to get the outside of your house painted, but winter, perfect opportunity to get your interior painted. You know, people walk into my kitchen and ask, Amy, did you get new cabinets? No, I save myself thousands of dollars by simply having them painted by the experts at CertaPro Painters. So cross the first project off your 2019 to-do list. CertaPro Painters will ensure a beautiful transformation of your home. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered. In-home with a color consultation or online with their color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. You can schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Get a free estimate at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Rates may apply. Do you want to learn how to get started making money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll be introduced to our 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to get started making money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where we'll share how to get started making money flipping houses and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited, so text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and you'll also reserve a free copy of Than's Money for Deals guide. Just text your zip code to 82,000.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
At 6:35 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
In Glenview, there's a rollover crash on Shermer at Harrison with a person trapped in the vehicle. Eden says inbound delays Foster Junction, 20 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 19. Inbound Kennedy delays start at Cumberland. It's 28 minutes O'Hare to downtown, outbound 22. Inbound Eisenhower, heavy 17th to Harlem and Central to Racine after a stall. 50 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 31. Stevenson, 46 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 is running 19 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 427. Northbound Tri-State, there's a delay from 87th to the 83rd Street toll. The other tollways are fine. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Today, mostly sunny skies with a high at 38. Clouds will increase tonight, low 29. Cloudy with some rain tomorrow with a high 42. Morning snow showers on Sunday. Clouds and cold, high 35. Temperatures dipping into the 20s. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 7 o'clock. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 2 for Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer
We have new information now also on the plane crash.
on AM 560.
Captain Sum Ting Wong, We Too Low, Li and Bang Bang Ow.
The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy. That was one of my favorite.
My favorite. Talk about being able to laugh at something over and over again. I was literally rolling on the floor laughing.
It was that's second to the time. Remember when Princess Di died, and CNN was doing wall-to-wall coverage, and they had this anchorman, Lyndon Souls, who was the perfectly coiffed, perfectly composed anchorman, and he was very, very, very good. And he took a call from somebody, a New Yorker, who said that he was in the tunnel when it happened, and he talked to the guy for like 20 minutes. And I mean, the guy, and he sounded like Woody Allen, and it was like, you have to understand, I can't really get the story out because I'm so vermished over the whole thing, and then there was the crash, and this went on for like 20 minutes, and the guy's trying to tease the story out of him because he's got this live interview with him. And, finally, after 20 minutes, the guy goes, and one more thing, Baba Booey, so, and then Lyndon Souls, to his credit. Now, at that point, I'm walking off the set. I'm done. I throw down my lavalier mic. I just run away. He's live television's like this. And then he just moves on to the next thing like it's nothing. Stoic. I mean, he's like Chuck Yeager doing that. I as you well know, I'm at 6s and 7s on how to do this. Well, let us go right now to Anna, who is from Chicago and has been patiently waiting. Good morning, Anna. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Bruce and Carol.
And Ted and Alice. Go ahead.
About children. The Bible doesn't say, or does it say, be fruitful and multiply and go on welfare? And they should add that to the Bible. And
by the way, I should mention,
I'm
sorry.
They don't make people, so they're wrong. They have to use your children.
Right.
So why don't you mention about that?
Thank you, Anna, so much for your contribution. Of course, it's my fault for putting Anna on, and I love her. But the problem is this topic we exhausted about 20 minutes ago, and people are just tuning in. Carol and I were having a debate over how many children you should have, and I have 5, and she has none.
This was Planned Parenthood. You were trying to plan my children for me.
And Anna was contributing to that. But there is
Speaking of children,
right. Go over. Oh, what a segue!
Speaking of children, Bruce, I think we've got a story about some children out of Virginia.
Of Virginia Elementaries. Thank you. I just decided I'm doing this story. Thank you, Carol.
It's a smooth segue.
A Virginia elementary school apologized after criticism over a Black History Month lesson that instructed children to pose as runaway slaves. The principal at Madison's Trust Elementary School acknowledged the mistake after parents complained when teachers modeled a gym exercise after the Underground Railroad. Quote, the lesson was culturally insensitive to our students and families, the principal, David Stewart, said in a statement. I extend my sincerest apology to our students and school community. During the class, third-grade students were urged to overcome a physical barrier. I don't understand what this is. This is exercise. Wait a minute. It's exercise.
We had a lot. We had a lot of games in gym class. The Runaway Slave Underground Railroad game was never on there. What is wrong with Virginia?
It's not like they told the kids to go in blackface, as I believe Keith, our producer, contributed.
We have so many things. There must be something in the water in Virginia that is making people crazy because we're just having one issue after another. It's Black History Month. Get it together, Virginia.
Well, it's interesting. Cardi B, who I've never heard of before she screwed up at the Grammys, and she got some flowers, and somebody had a card that had a line from a Tom Petty song, and she thanked Tom Petty. She thought Tom Petty had sent her the flowers, and of course he's been dead for 2 years.
God bless.
But she said, and it was hysterical, she said that Jussie Smollett had freaked up Black History Month, which he had, but
which, by the way, a shout out if you don't know Cardi B, who's this amazing rapper. She is one of those. I think she actually may be libertarian pretty soon because she keeps putting these videos out talking about things like what's the government doing with my money and why are they taking so much money out of my paycheck. So she actually could be a great political activist.
See, I think the term you lost me when you said amazing rapper, which I think is like an oxymoron. But you, being of the younger generation,
the young hip rapping generation,
you believe in you actually like that music.
I do.
You can distinguish one rapper from another.
Sometimes.
That's pretty good. Anyway, getting back to carrying me back to old Virginia.
To Virginia.
Yeah, it's they didn't do it in blackface. They got physical exercise. And they were paying tribute. They were paying tribute to the Underground Railroad.
This is amazing. I mean, this actually reads like it's a story out of The Onion or some sort of satirical magazine. And imagine you're the governor who's been under fire for posing in either blackface or a Ku Klux Klan hood. We haven't decided which one yet. And now the heat's been taken off of you because your lieutenant governor has been accused of sexual harassment, and now you've got people playing runaway slave gym classes.
Let me look. How else are third graders aren't going to have a philosophical discussion and start talking about Harriet Tubman?
There's picture books, Bruce. There's picture books.
But no, third graders have to touch and feel. They have to have a real experience. So to show them, you're now going to have to experience what black people experienced at the time. You're going to have to go. It's not like they were putting them in, in chains or something like that. Like Charles Barkley wanted to be in chains on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, actually, this seems like an innocent attempt, and you got to be very careful now. And had they not done anything, they would have been criticized.
This is incredibly, incredibly stupid, incredibly offensive. And even if you don't think it's offensive, you have to have enough common sense to know this is probably not a good idea in this day and age. And while you and I may not have so much shame, especially not me, when you are running an elementary school, you probably should have some.
Carol, I'd like to introduce you to Sean from Elmwood Park. Excuse me, Sean from Elmwood Park.
Hi, Sean.
Carol from Streeterville. Good morning,
we
Sean.
We actually know each other, Bruce.
Oh,
okay. We know each other. I interviewed her.
Okay. Well, I'm the one who's the third man out. Go ahead,
Never
Sean.
met.
And
Never met in
not
person.
only that, also on Twitter and the like, we're tight.
Fine.
Me and Sean.
Exactly right. That's exactly. And I want to call you to support you. Do not listen to that old sexually frustrated man across the aisle from you. I am so proud of you that you didn't get these money chippers kids. God bless you. That is a wonderful decision. For if you see a young man slamming his genitals in a car door, that's actually an old man with a time machine.
Oh,
it is
my
a huge
God. Oh,
mistake.
the image.
They have no respect. They waste time, and then they listen to Carly B., who, by the way,
Cardi B.
Welcome to the club. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
It's
the
a
names
hybrid.
are irrelevant.
Yeah. Carly Simon and, yeah. Go ahead.
Nothing builds conservatism like being the victim of government plunder. So welcome aboard, honey. Now,
nice, honey.
And I have to say, Sean, I'm a financial expert, so I sorted this all out in terms of whether I wanted to rent or own children, and it is much cheaper to rent them than it is to own them. Yeah.
Private school, internet nonsense, keeping up with the girlfriend whose father has the plane because he's a corrupt scumbag. It's all very exhausting. All right, so here's the other thing. I listened to your decision about Chicago. Now, as you can hear in the background, those are waves. I start my morning walking because I take people like you and I find them a hedge against what is soon to be Flint, Michigan, known as Chicago.
Correct.
Right.
Because the reality is this.
It's inevitable.
And Bruce and I,
you're in
Bruce and I
Florida
agree
right
on
now
this.
selling real estate, right? That's what
yeah,
you're
but
doing.
I'll be back to that sewer tomorrow. But anyway, here's the thing. These choices of lesser evils are what gets you to loss in slow motion, to where you're deciphering which scumbag is most palatable for the next 4 years.
As the mayor
and
of Chicago.
Nothing represents. Nothing represents that more than that mayor's race in Chicago with
Yes.
that band of freaks. You should charge me to put them on TV. I'd pay $1 to see that freak show. I'm old enough to remember that.
Now, Sean,
I
you
can't decide who's who.
when you actually come and carpetbag back in the in Illinois and are from Elmwood Park or Melrose Park or wherever, they're all the same to
one of
me.
the parks.
I'm from both.
Yeah,
One of the
you're
parks.
from all of them. Who would you prefer in this mayoral election? Which evil would you prefer?
I would prefer somebody to walk up there like a man and slap each and every one of them in the face and say, "You're all done. Let's start over."
You know
Because
what? If somebody did that during the debates, if they just walked down the line and slapped everyone, that person would have had my vote. 100%.
Now, Bruce, if
Yes.
you took advantage of your father's spending money on you and wasting it with that law school, you could find me a lawyer. I want to file a lawsuit, and I'm serious about this. You've got Pritzker telling me, small business people how much to pay their people. How is that even legal? How is it legal for you to negotiate my business costs? I'm talking about all this stuff.
Can we
You've got-
get
we're
an
paying for a-
amen? Can we get an
Yeah.
amen up in here? Amen.
Sean, I
In the
have to
news,
run
Mike
right now
Scott.
because it's my turn. Well, and
All
Sean
right, by
and
the
I
way,
are going to be
went
hosting in April.
Northwestern, too.
Yeah, I know.
Did you know this?
What
I
did
went
you
to
do?
Northwestern too. When I needed a jacket or shoes, I went up there and took it from those sissies.
Yeah.
See you later.
Thank you, Sean. Actually, yesterday I tend to get excited once in a while. We were talking about the budget.
As excited as Sean does?
The budget address of Pritzker, and I really laid into Pritzker. I mean, it wasn't even clever. I was just saying that he was fat, and I mean I got down to the guttural level with him because
No pun intended.
Well, one of the problems is that I can't believe a guy like this gets to send his kids to Francis Parker, and he wants to cut out the few measly dollars that are going towards this private school program that the state was going to be involved in. So middle class people can't take advantage of that. Pritzker gets to send his kids to Sidwell Friends or whatever, the Latin school or King Lab.
We know the entire thing is ridiculous. The challenge that we have is that it's very difficult to get a good candidate because who wants to go through the process? Who wants to be dragged through the mud? Who wants to have their high school yearbook brought out and said, "Oh, you dressed up as this and that and the other thing"? I mean, if you are a normal person that's not a narcissistic sociopath, why would you ever want to run for office these days? And particularly then you have a state like Illinois with the machine, with the corruption, with all of the challenges. Nobody who is a good and normal person wants to have that kind of
not
headache.
if you're going to be scrutinized like these people are. And now, of course.
Did you ever, by the way, do you have something in your yearbook that's super offensive?
I had fake long sideburns because I've never been
That
able
is
to grow them.
incredibly. That's incredibly offensive.
Well, I've
Bruce.
never been able. Peter Tork died. Everybody had sideburns like that in the '60s and early '70s. Except I have never. If you look at my face, it's still kind of like a baby face, a little bit.
Yeah, no, you look
yeah,
good.
Yeah, and I'm not able to grow a beard.
I'm
or
very
sideburns.
sorry. Are you okay about that?
Not a lot of testosterone, and I overcompensate.
So you don't
for
have
it.
toxic masculinity.
Well, I feign it.
You
feign I
toxic-
feign it. I feign it. But right, we're looking at the mores of today, and we're grafting them onto the past. It's why the other day John Wayne. They actually resurrected John
They
Wayne.
decided they were going to drag John Wayne,
Right.
which is amazing.
And
And by the way, Shakespeare is next.
Shakespeare, Robert E. Lee,
Yes.
Stonewall Jackson.
They're all never going to work in this town again.
Yeah, John Wayne had said, he believed in white supremacy until blacks were educated. There is somebody sent me on Twitter a column from Mike Royko, who was the biggest liberal in the 1970s, and it's all about a foreign cab driver. He calls him a raghead. He's got all these epithets, and you can't believe it. You think it's a parody. I think it was real, but just complaining about foreign cab drivers in language that would be verboten right now. So,
But I mean, just think about some of our favorite movies. I always contend 16 Candles was one of my favorite. John Hughes, here in Chicago, 16 Candles would never get made today. Blazing Saddles would never get made today. George Carlin would be carted off the stage
Revenge
today.
of the Nerds.
Oh my God, the worst, right?
Had a scene that was similar to what Brett Kavanaugh was doing with Christine Blasey Ford, and people were laughing at it.
He was not doing that.
Well,
by
he
the way.
wasn't. I don't think he was either.
No,
not guilty.
He was not guilty.
All right, Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. On AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. A horrific basketball injury affects Nike shares. New York State losing out on another corporate expansion, and existing home sales fell slightly in January. Those stories next.
Hi, we're here with Alexander Green, 4-time best-selling author and chief investment strategist of the Oxford Club. Alex is a stock-picking legend. He calls 6 of the best stocks of the past 20 years, including Apple, Intuitive Surgical, Netflix, Varian, Amazon, and Celgene. Now, Alex, I understand you're targeting a new stock.
Yes, it's a cutting-edge tech company making blockbuster deals. I'm talking about $450 million with Nokia, $395 million with Microsoft, and a $29.2 billion deal with Apple. The company is set to create 50,000 new jobs right here in America, and Donald Trump himself even calls what they're doing the 8th wonder of the world. Yet you've likely never even heard of it because this $3 stock trades under a secret name.
Alex just got on stage in front of a packed crowd to talk about this secret stock, and you can see his free presentation at OneStockRetirement.com. Don't wait on this. We expect the stock to make big national news in March. Go to OneStockRetirement.com now.
New York has lost another business opportunity after Amazon canceled its plans to relocate to New York. Gun manufacturer Remington Arms building a plant that will employ 2,100 people in Huntsville, Alabama, instead of upstate New York. Wednesday night's injury of Duke Blue Devils player Zion Williamson affecting Nike stock. Nike made Williamson's shoe that ripped apart during Duke's loss to North Carolina. That opened Nike up to social media ridicule, and Nike shares fell sharply in Thursday trading. The National Association of Realtors says existing home sales in January fell for a third consecutive month. Sales of previously owned homes down from their December levels by 1.2%. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
The following is a paid political announcement.
We are ready for Fioretti.
I'm former Alderman Bob Fioretti asking for your vote. As Alderman, I work for you, not the insiders. I'll do the same as mayor. If you're tired of the corruption as I am, the violent crime, the insider deals, then you're ready for Fioretti. I'll fight for what I've always fought for, creating jobs, no property tax increase, term limits, more police officers, and much more. Punch 35 for Bob Fioretti for mayor. Thank you.
We are ready for Fioretti.
Paid for by friends at Bob Fioretti.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
We're back on the radio and getting bigger than ever.
We're the #1 Lincoln dealer in town.
And Chicagoland's first ever Ford Lincoln Superstore, too.
Folks like our great deals, for sure.
Just yesterday, I got attacked by the paparazzi.
Really?
But I think the groupies are the worst.
Groupies?
All the Highland Park groupies we have.
Sure. Right, Al.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Well, I have groupies.
A rich fantasy life is important.
This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I believe that your company has the answer because I've been through cancer treatment and knowing what it does to the body, and oh my, if that's all that medical science has to offer, there must be a better way, and I think the better way is knowing what to eat and getting it. I do notice that I have less inflammation. I feel like when I'm taking Balance of Nature, I'm getting fruits and vegetables more than what I would ordinarily get. I like when I open up the bottles, you can really smell the fruits and vegetables. I mean, I know I'm getting fruits and vegetables.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 20% off any first preferred order of Balance of Nature and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jim Keene Jr. of the Mail House, Inc., a family-owned and operated digital print mail house with a specialty in political advertising and a customer of Signature Bank. We knew that getting a loan to buy our business wouldn't be easy, so we turned to one of our trusted friends for a referral. She told us about the outstanding level of customer service her business received at Signature Bank since becoming one of their first customers in 2006. Today, we couldn't be happier. Not only did Signature help us finance the purchase of the mail house, but they supported our growth as we modernized our operations in mailing as well as from traditional to digital printing. If you're looking for a great bank to grow your business, take a look at Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Improving your home? Why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show next weekend only at the Tinley Park Convention Center. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home, inside and out. Get trusted advice on your upcoming projects as you speak with local and national experts who will help you with all of your home improvement needs. And be sure to attend the free expert seminars and live cooking shows all weekend. See quality indoor and outdoor furniture, amazing deals on mattresses and adjustable beds, the latest appliances by Grand, and so much more. Plus, don't miss the huge plant sale by Ted's Greenhouse. And test drive the new Transit Connect by Ford right from the show. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the huge Home and Garden Show next weekend at the Tinley Park Convention Center on Harlem Avenue north of I-80 with free admission and parking. For details, visit tinleyparkshow.com. That's tinleyparkshow.com.
As a parent, you want what's best for your children. That means sending them to a school where they'll get the superior education they deserve, and that also shares your values. That can be tricky these days, as public schools have changed and private schools can be expensive. Your household budget has already been cut to the bone, and it's hard to imagine where you'll find that extra money. Well, there's help to lessen that financial burden and provide your child with the very best education at half the cost. At AM 560 The Answer, we work with private schools throughout the Chicagoland area to provide tuition for families at half the normal cost. Just log on to halfpriceschools.com and you'll find some of Chicagoland's finest private schools, from preschool all the way through high school, at half the cost. And chances are there's a school right in your neighborhood. Invest in your child's education and future at halfpriceschools.com. A limited number of half-price vouchers are available. Go to halfpriceschools.com now.
AM 560, The Answer.
Ow! Boom, 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 boom. Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy. And you got a text here?
No, I got a tweet. I just have to say, so Gary T has tried to make me an offer that I couldn't refuse here. He said he will buy me a 2 a.m. Subway tuna sandwich if I muss your hair on the camera.
My hair?
And I have to say, Gary, what kind of woman do you think I am? You think I do anything for a Subway tuna sandwich? You got to up your offer there if you want me to work for you. My goodness.
And by the way, if you're just tuning in, Carol actually lives in Streeterville. So she is an expert. Streeterville, for those of you who don't know, and I don't either, is the neighborhood that Jesse Smollett was from and where he was purportedly attacked.
And by the way, Holly has also said that they feel like they're eavesdropping on our let's do lunch first date.
Well, you are like...
How do you feel about having kids? What's your favorite movie? Yeah. Oh, Jewish Geography.
Well, you're like 19 years my junior, so you could be one of my children. All right, coming up after the top of the hour, we're going to be talking to Brett Baer. I get a little nervous about Brett.
That's nice.
Because,
I'm excited.
He's like one of my heroes.
I'm excited.
Because you're on Fox.
I am on
Fox. So
Fox.
he's like a brother of yours on Fox.
I'm actually not on his show.
No, I understand.
But he's, he's in the family.
Let's go to the newsroom right now and Perry Williams.
Here's one of the stories we're following. Empire actor Jussie Smollett is back at work after being arrested on charges that he staged a racist and homophobic attack last month in Chicago. Time for an update from Fox News on AM 560 The Answer, WIND Chicago at 7 o'clock.
They want to undo what President Trump did. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. House Democrats will get the ball rolling today on a resolution to block his national emergency declaration at the southern border. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
With the backing of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democrats are expected to file their resolution today. Identical companion legislation will soon be introduced in the Senate. The resolution blocking the president's move only needs a simple majority in both chambers to get to the president's desk, where White House officials have said he would use his first presidential veto. Democrats and some Republicans argue that President Trump is violating the separation of powers by using an emergency declaration to get additional wall funding. Dave?
John, North Carolina is going to redo the congressional election for a still vacant House seat after allegations of absentee ballot fraud. And Republican Mark Harris, who had declared victory after the November election, agrees with the decision.
It's become clear to me that the public's confidence in the 9th District seat general election has been undermined to an extent that a new election is warranted.
Jussie Smollett, defiant in Chicago, insisting he did not stage the hate crime attack that police now call a hoax, charging him with the crime. His lawyers put out a statement.
Mr. Smollett is a man of impeccable character and integrity who fiercely and solemnly maintains his innocence and feels betrayed by a system that apparently wants to skip due process and proceed directly to sentencing.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Chicago. After Smollett was freed on bond, he went to the set of his TV show Empire, and TMZ reports he told him he's sorry, but he swore to God he's not guilty. Police say he paid the two guys he claims attacked him. An American jailed as an accused spy in Russia is going to be there a while longer. A court in Moscow today ordered Paul Whelan to stay behind bars 3 more months. Whelan's lawyer claims someone handed him a flash drive and he was unaware it had classified info on it. A Boston police officer wounded early this morning after getting into a gunfight at a traffic stop. The suspected gunman drove off but was found dead around the corner in the car. This is Fox News.
Good morning. It's 23 degrees with clear skies in Chicago at 7:02 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. Empire actor Jussie Smollett is back at work after being arrested on charges that he staged a racist and homophobic attack last month in Chicago's Streeterville neighborhood. Smollett was released from Cook County Jail yesterday after posting bail. The black and openly gay actor then reported to the Empire Production Studios on the West Side. His legal team called the allegations against him part of an organized law enforcement spectacle that has no place in the American legal system. In other news, 2 more victims of last week's mass shooting in Aurora will be laid to rest today. A funeral is scheduled for Russell Byer in West Suburban Montgomery, while Vicente Juarez's funeral will be held in Oswego. Byer and Juarez were among 5 employees killed when a disgruntled co-worker opened fire at the Henry Pratt Company warehouse. Their visitations were held yesterday. Charges are pending following a carjacking and crash involving 2 teen boys on Chicago's South Side. Police say the teens carjacked a woman last night at gunpoint in the 1400 block of East Marquette. They sped away until hitting another vehicle near 70th and Stony Island. The boys and man driving the other vehicle were hospitalized. The teens were released and then taken into custody. This news report is sponsored by InvisibleFence.com. Pet parents trust Invisible Fence brand with their pets. Their Consumers Digest awarded Boundary Plus technology is guaranteed to protect your pet from escaping while providing them the freedom they deserve. Visit InvisibleFence.com to learn more. That's InvisibleFence.com. AM 560 news time is 7:04. Where are the cars this morning? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Do you own or run a thriving business in the Chicagoland area? Have you overcome obstacles to make your business what it is today? If that's your business, then AM 560 wants to tell your story on the AM 560 Business Tour, presented by Signature Bank. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson will be broadcasting live from businesses all around Chicagoland, telling success stories of thriving, successful businesses. Hey, if that's you, tell us about it. Visit 560theanswer.com/business and submit your information. That's 560theanswer.com/business.
When you fire up a John Deere 1 Series tractor, you can tackle the job without wrestling the attachments. Hook up everything from a front loader to a drive-over mower deck in no time, so you can haul gravel, cut grass, or do any job in between. Because when things just click, work just gets done. And now get a 1 Series for just $99 a month at your nearest participating John Deere dealer. Nothing runs like a Deere. Run with us. Search John Deere 1 Series for more. 0% annual percentage rate. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
The average smoker tries to quit up to 30 times, and many are looking for an alternative. Juul was designed by smokers, for smokers, to be a satisfying alternative to cigarettes. Juul is a vapor product that contains nicotine for a satisfying transition. If you're one of the 34 million adults who smoke, know that there is an alternative to cigarettes. Make the switch at Juul.com. That's JUUL.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Folks, when shopping for a home mortgage, how much is great service, low closing costs, and competitive interest rates worth to you? At Townstone Financial, it's priceless. Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. Let's hear about the Townstone experience from a VA client.
I do have a very close personal friend. Him and his wife were both Army. They did a couple tours. They were denied their VA loan at the 11th hour. They got the carpet pulled from underneath them. So, you hear horror stories like that. With you guys going through the VA process, you guys really did most of the legwork. I mean, just a matter of getting my paperwork in order and making sure you guys had the right documents so that you could push it through, make it happen, and get us the keys to our new home.
Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is licensed in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida. NMLS 136639. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender.
Great news! There's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price, and it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save.
At 7:07 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
In Glenview, a rollover crash is causing lane closures on Shermer between Harrison and Gulf, affecting mainly the southbound side. Eden's 21 minutes either way between Lake Cook and Montrose. Kennedy, 36 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 18 from Montrose, same in the Express. Outbound 27 minutes downtown to the airport. Got Eisenhower, 48 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 33. Stevenson is now 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 22 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 430. Northbound Tri-State, it's Snarl from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Sunny today, high 38. Clouds tonight, low 29. Some rain tomorrow, high 42. Morning snow showers on Sunday. Otherwise cloudy, windy, and cold, the high 35, but temperatures dropping into the upper 20s. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 7:30. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, great coffee, period.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Ding, 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 ding. Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy. Are they in Puerto Vallarta right now? Or am I confusing things? They're not on vacation now, are they? Because they take the listeners on a trip.
Let me know.
Yeah, it might be like a weekend thing for them. I'm not sure.
I think that trip is coming up in April. Actually.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yes.
You're right. So, Carol, for those of you who don't know, everybody knows who I am because I'm a TV and radio legend in Chicago. Carol had never seen or heard before.
And by the way,
never. She has no idea. She's never heard of Chit Chat. When I say that,
it means nothing.
It went right over your head.
Literally means nothing. But I will say,
Yeah.
even though my last name is Roth, I had nothing to do with the Roth IRA, which is very saddening to many people.
Did you have anything to do with the Kemp-Roth tax bill of 1982? Okay.
Yes, when I was, 3 years old.
You are a business maven, though.
I am
You're
a
on
business maven.
Fox Business News.
Fox Business News, exactly.
And where else can we see you? Twitter? Where else?
On Twitter, I've been a reality TV show judge. I was judge for Mark Burnett on America's Greatest Makers. I used to host a show for Microsoft, Office Small Business. Yeah, I'm a busy woman.
Really?
I'm a busy woman.
Yeah. And just to...
But actually, you can see me this afternoon on Fox Business After the Bell, 3 p.m.
Okay. Just for the cultural touchstone here, Peter Tork of the Monkees died. And that, to me, that touched my heart because the song I'm a Believer, which my friend Jeff Hoover tweeted, now we're going to be singing I'm a Bereaver. Cujo's, as Michael Jordan would say to him, for that one. I wish I'd come up with that. That came out, when I was in my formative years, just past the Wonder Bread years.
What,
and that's
what,
a
what
reference.
What year do you think that came out?
1967.
Yes, I was not born
I
yet.
I listened to the music. You know, the 89.
Good morning, mostly cloudy and 11 degrees. I'm Perry Williams with your Twin Cities news headlines.
Okay.
Attorney General.
Okay, Perry Williams. Was that on our air just now? It was in my headphones. Perry Williams was giving the news in the Twin Cities right now.
Yeah, he did.
But anyway,
he apparently did
yeah.
not want to hear about Peter Tork and the Monkees.
No, and
at all.
I wanted to find out what the weather was there right now. Let's from WJM and Mary Tyler Moore. Anyway, Peter Tork, that was my era. And but you don't even know from the Monkees.
No, I do know the Monkees because they were on reruns when I was very young. So I did watch the Monkees. I watched all of their shenanigans, and you know, like the Monkees, as I said before, Mickey was my favorite, and I also was a big fan.
What was Mickey's last name?
Dolenz.
No, it was Dolenz.
Or Dolenz.
Oh my goodness.
I've got the fancy accent, but what I will tell you, as was also a big Brady Bunch fan.
Yeah.
And so I watched Davy Jones because he was on because Marsha Brady was the president of the Davy Jones fan club, and so that was a particular favorite episode where he came and Marsha and Davy had all of this great sexual tension in the Brady Bunch.
Well, wait a minute, wasn't he like old enough to be your father at that point?
He was, but it didn't matter.
In those days, it was fine.
Different times.
In those days, it was
different
fine.
times.
May December romances were fine in those days.
Listen, Greg Brady and Mrs. Brady. There was all kinds of stuff going on that Brady Bunch. So,
and Robert Reed was actually gay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Not that mattered. He was a good actor and everything.
No, he was phenomenal.
Speaking of giving a black eye to the gay community,
let's
go
transition.
to the Smollett story.
Yesterday. Okay, if you're gonna make fun of me with Dolenz, it's Smollett's. That's why where I got it from.
Jussie Smollett is the man who's so famous right now you can mispronounce his name like 3 different ways. Is it Jussie? Is it Jesse? Is it Smollett? Is Smollett? It's Eddie Johnson.
This announcement today recognizes that Empire actor Jussie Smollett took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career.
And can we also mention that he wrote a check? He wrote a check. This is the dumbest criminal of all time.
Somebody was saying, what millennial writes a check
that has
nowadays?
a check? I mean, that's what I was
who
thinking
has a checkbook?
So the best part is the millennials on Twitter, you know, I'm talking about this, we're asking me, they're like, well, what would you do? Would you pay Venmo? And I'm like, cash, baby.
Here's the one thing I learned in law school that I remember.
Did they tell you how to
write a check?
The perfect hate crime?
No, when you write a check, like up until January 22nd or something like that, you can still use the last year on the check because people make the mistake of writing the prior year, and it's still a good check. That's the only thing I remember from the class commercial paper that I took in law school.
Interesting. But here's the thing is that you don't have necessarily a full time period for a lot of checks that you need to deposit it. So why would it matter if you have an earlier date on your check?
Now, did you see? I'm sorry, I didn't listen to what you were saying because I can't juggle as many thoughts in my head as I used to. There was a statement from Jussie Smollett. I got this from Larry Lujak, who got it from Rush Limbaugh, or vice versa. Ruffling the papers like this, crinkling them. Today we witnessed an organized law enforcement spectacle that has no place in the American legal system. This is from Jussie Smollett's attorneys. The presumption of innocence, a bedrock of the search for justice, was trampled upon at the expense of Mr. Smollett, and notably on the eve of a mayoral election. Mr. Smollett is a young man of impeccable character and integrity who fiercely and solemnly maintains his innocence and feels betrayed by a system that apparently wants to skip due process, and then it goes on from there.
I mean, do you think the delusions run high here, or is he just like, you know what, at this point I've got nothing to lose, so I'm just going to double down? I mean, how does he even have the cojones to do this?
The chutzpah to do this, I think that was the word you were looking for, is unbelievable, because where was the attorney for Jussie Smollett coming out before the microphones yesterday and saying, here's what happened. These guys actually did attack my client. The $3,500, if you notice on the bottom, it didn't say for hoax.
It did.
It was for physical training that these guys with the 12 packs were giving to Jussie.
By the way, they said they gave him drugs too, so maybe he paid for his drugs by check.
Whatever,
as well.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And these guys were wearing ski masks. He didn't recognize them. He actually thought he was attacked. He's the victim here. But they didn't do that.
Because the rest of the story is so unbelievable. I mean, it is. You can't. I mean, you heard in the press conference that you have people laughing. You had the Mr. Do you have the sound bite of?
Oh, just order me around right here. Here's Edward Nicky. He's the commander.
Okay. The boss just corrected me. Please forgive me. I'm supposed to go through the timeline of our investigation. It's okay.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke.
It is a joke.
So here's where we are.
Yeah. Take my wife, please. Yeah, he was doing stand up.
Because he could. You have these giant, super fit men with 12-pack abs who are running around with ski masks and red hats and bleach and nooses. And I mean, it is literally, this is what an actor thinks a quote-unquote hate crime would be. This is the ultimate production. This is ripped from the headlines of CSI Streeterville. It's so blatantly ridiculous that you couldn't even pitch that out, and Hollywood would laugh at you at that story.
And these guys, each with a set of 12 packs, so that's a 24-pack.
Yeah. By the way, these guys are personal trainers. I would definitely hire them. They look amazing.
So they punched him. And then he told Robin Roberts.
And he punched himself.
I punched them back, which to me was the most incredible thing that he said.
And then I saved my Subway sandwich. I punched them back, and I bravely dove to save my Subway sandwich. Because, if you're going to fight somebody, it's not going to be over something important like cake. It's going to be over a Subway sandwich.
Well, wait a minute. He had the Subway sandwich in one hand, his cell phone in the other hand. So what does he punch with? I don't want to think about it.
He's beating them
His
with the
hand.
$5 footlong.
Yeah. Oh, that's what he euphemistically calls it, his footlong.
Detectives responded to the incident and interviewed him eventually at Northwestern Hospital, where he reported to us that the two offenders yelled racial and homophobic and political.
I just can't. I love that.
We'll never get past homophobic.
Well, he committed a homophobia right there. He called it homophobia.
Homophobia.
Yeah.
We have to define what is homophobia. It's fear of words that sound similarly.
It's a good Chicago cop there. There's a homophobia there.
When people use there, and there incorrectly, or your incorrectly on Twitter, that is homophobia.
Yeah, exactly. All the words blend together.
Exactly.
We can't distinguish. I don't even like people who use disinterested when they mean uninterested. If they mean the same thing, why do we have two words for it?
I don't.
But
I
the
don't,
language has been bastardized, Carol.
I don't like when people mix up good and well. They don't know the difference between an adjective. And
I don't
adverb.
like when they say begs the question when they mean raises the question, because begging the question is a tautology.
I don't have a problem with begging the question.
I have a problem with it.
All right,
and you should have a problem too.
We can agree to disagree.
God. All right. Coming up, somebody. What happened to Brett Baer? I teased him.
We got Tom.
He didn't. Well, we got Tom.
All right. He's gonna put some bad news on us here about Jesse.
All right. Tom from Deer Park. Good morning.
Good morning, Bruce. We've been talking all week about this case and how it, with the intersectionality and the double victimhood and all that, laid out so perfectly in Noah Rothman's new book, Unjust. And that book came out less than a month ago. And it ought to be a textbook because it lays out the template. And we talked about it this week on the victimhood of the gay, the black. Forget about the fact he lives in Streeterville and makes $65,000 an episode. That's not germane to the story. But on the commentary podcast yesterday, I forget who brought it up, but they suggested that Jesse's dad was Jewish or of Jewish descent. So I immediately thought of you and was wishing to get your take on that.
Oy vey.
Well, congratulations to you, Tom from Deer Park, listening to the commentary podcast, which is Podhoretz and Noah Rothman.
But by the way,
thank you, Tom. Appreciate the call.
Bruce, if I can plug,
Yeah.
actually, I have my own podcast called The Roth Effect on Ricochet as well, and I interviewed Noah this week as well, and it is a phenomenal interview around social justice and social activism and why it's so immoral.
Can you summarize it for me in a tweet right now? Because I was actually offered Noah on the show today, and I figured, I mean, I like him, but basically he's writing about what Tom mentioned.
Yeah, and
everybody's a victim now. We have a hierarchy of victimhood. He was, hit two. Well, he hit black and he hit gay. I mean, if he had been a woman, it would have been even better.
The jackpot,
or
correct.
Transgender
And Jewish. Right?
Jewish is not a minority anymore. No.
We are a minority.
No, it's not considered. Jewish is white now. Get with the program.
I don't know. When you got a third of our people have been wiped out in the last.
Doesn't
100
matter
years,
anymore. People don't even care about the Holocaust anymore. They don't. They don't care about it. There's a bunch. We got two. We got Omar and whoever.
Rashida Tlaib.
Rashida Tlaib in Congress
right
now, giving non-apology apologies. But I don't want to turn this into, because the program director later is going to say, I didn't mind you with your scattershot views and changing the subject every second, but you turned it into Jewish conservatism.
Back to victimhood. I mean, the reality is that this has become a big business. And instead of trading on his success and all the things that he got, that he benefited from, Jussie Smollett decided he wanted to be a victim and he wanted to trade on the victim status and the fact that he's aligned with all of these groups, despite the fact that he makes more than $1 million.
$65,000 an
That's
episode?
over $1 million over 18 episodes per season. I mean, that's unbelievable.
And it's been on for 4 years, so you do the math. But you know what? I know you're a hockey fan because I've seen you on Twitter.
I am.
And
love me the Blackhawks.
I used to be a hockey fan, and I was just thinking, it's very similar. Patrick Kane, who's having a sensational season.
Always.
Has he scored like in 10 straight games or something like that?
Longer than that.
Patrick Kane, like the city of Chicago, both wrongly accused at one point and both vindicated.
Absolutely.
Patrick Kane is the symbol of Chicago right now. He should be on the Chicago flag. Should not just be those, the blue and the stars.
What's amazing with the NHL?
His visage.
What's amazing with the NHL is they do a good job of keeping things pretty quiet because even though you and I know that and people from Chicago know that, it's not necessarily a broader discourse. But the Hawks play the Avalanche tonight. They're right now in
lost
contention.
me. I don't care.
You don't care.
No, it's not the playoffs, and they're not going to win this year. I don't care.
They're actually in playoff contention, and they're fighting with the Avalanche. I care because I love hockey.
I can't see the puck anymore on TV. I used to be able to see it. I can't.
So that's really the problem is that
I can't
you're getting
see
old.
it anymore.
See, if you were ever really a hockey fan, you'd still be a hockey fan because hockey is in your blood.
Wait a minute. Bobby Hull is my favorite athlete of all time, even though he's anti-Semitic, he's a drunk, and a wife beater. That's the trifecta of nefariousness. But I don't care. You can't take Bobby Hull away from me. He's still my favorite athlete of all time.
I don't know why that. Why
do you
have
even
to get
know
down.
Bobby Hull?
I do. My husband actually just sat with him on a plane flight and had a very nice conversation with him for the whole plane flight a couple weeks ago.
They get drunk together?
Maybe.
Ralph, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Hey, Bruce. Look, there's only an hour and a half left in the week, right? and I'm wondering, you've only got about 90 minutes before you explode over some topic, and then thus maybe jeopardize coming back. So I started a pool in my office, and since I'm self-employed, I own all the squares. So even if I lose, I win.
It's the best pool ever.
What do you think it's going to be?
Able to pull it off?
What do you think? What do you think it is? What do you think it's going to blow up?
Wait, I feel like
I don't know. It could be anything. I don't know what your trigger.
I blew up yesterday about Pritzker because I couldn't believe that he gets to send he gets to send his kids to a private school, Sidwell Friends, or that's in Washington.
And I have a question too. If you flew on the plane next to Bobby Hull, did his toupee have his own seat?
See, this was my husband, not me. So I can neither confirm nor deny whether his toupee was separate or if he had to pay extra if it fit in the overhead bin. I don't have that.
And did your husband grab his shirt and pull it over his head and start pummeling him, Bobby Hull? All right, Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
For more than 50 years, Mueller CPA, a certified public accounting and business advisory firm, has been serving clients in Chicagoland. Dave Nissen, Mueller's managing partner, is here to explain Mueller CPA's history, journey, and opportunity.
Thanks, Dan. Our firm was started by Al Mueller as a one-person CPA firm in 1968. Through growth and partnerships, Mueller CPA has blossomed from a regional firm to an organization that provides services worldwide. Mueller is a reflection of our years of listening and caring for our clients, and we would not be here today if it wasn't for our professionals and support personnel. We value the human side of our business and recognize it as being the most important element of our success. We are growing, we are hiring, and we welcome your interest in our firm.
If you are looking for your first opportunity or your forever career, join an award-winning team that cares about you. Visit the career page at MuellerCPA.com or call Dave directly at 630-524-5274.
Hey, if you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, then dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Hey, Sean Hannity here. So what are you waiting for? Find out now if implants are for you. Successful implants don't come from an implant factory. Skill, treatment, installation, those are the main differences for successful lifelong implants. That's why you need to see Dr. Neruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Neruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants themselves. You need the experience, the skill, and honesty that over 25 years of dental implants brings, and you're going to be happy with your implant. It's not a mass production procedure because everyone is different. And Dr. Neruzzi wants to talk to you about dental implants today.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics at 630-232-7400. They're online at implantsforme.com.
Another year and you still haven't done anything about your company's networking computer system. Will your employees struggle to get by on a dated system with no IT personnel to fix it quickly? Or maybe you're thinking everything's running perfectly and it'll be fine. Until it isn't. Whether you've experienced technical trouble or not, when you do, it costs your company money. And it doesn't have to. Don't wait for a crisis. Make 2019 the year you're prepared for anything technology throws at you with Turnkey IT. Turnkey IT helps set you up for success and gets in front of the many technical issues that can overwhelm a business. They specialize in the preventative steps to keep you going. Have Turnkey do a complimentary network audit of your systems, even if you have a current IT company, so you know exactly where you stand in the ever-evolving technology world. A second opinion never hurts. And for a limited time, get free lunch for the decision makers of your company, courtesy of Turnkey.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros, so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
I got my bottle of Balance of Nature. Oh, yeah. I went to their website, balanceofnature.com. And again, I typed Chicago in the promo code for 35% off my first order of fruits and veggies for Balance of Nature. You know, we're in the thick of it, the cold and flu season here in Chicago, and everyone's sniffling and sneezing and coughing. I'm around kids a lot, and I want to avoid getting sick. So I know that I have to boost my immune system. And a great way to do that is with the fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature. We're all busy, and it's hard to get enough fruits and veggies, and that's where Balance of Nature comes in. 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies in a capsule to boost your immune system all winter long. Folks, the testimonials are real. I've met Dr. Douglas Howard and his wife and son. Dr. Howard is the founder and creator of Balance of Nature, and he showed me the emails. We played the voicemails of real people who use Balance of Nature to get healthier and stay healthy. That should be you. So don't wait another day. Try it now before you get sick. And again, 35% off your order by using the promo code Chicago when you go to balanceofnature.com or simply call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751.
AM 560, The Answer.
So this is from After Your Time. This is Cream, the sunshine of your love. I've been waiting so long.
I've listened to radio before.
But this is top 40.
Classic. This is classic rock.
What's your favorite karaoke song?
I don't do karaoke.
All right, that's one thing I got. You went to Wharton. You got that on.
They didn't have the karaoke class at Wharton.
Yeah. I didn't go to Wharton. Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy. And coming up after the news, we're going to be talking to LaShawn Ford, one of the 473 candidates for mayor of the city of Chicago. I think after him, we have Laura America First Daily, and the late Anton Cermak will be coming on after that. So these candidates are fungible to me, so you're going to have to help me out.
Yeah, no,
Carol.
would love to.
Okay, appreciate that. Let's go to the newsroom right now and Perry Williams.
Good morning. It's 24 degrees with clear skies in Chicago at 7:30 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. The family of a Chicago public school student who was tased by police during an altercation is suing the Board of Education, the city, and 2 police officers. The federal lawsuit claims the cops violated the civil rights of 16-year-old Enigma Howard when she was punched, tased, stepped on, and struck last month at Marshall High School. The suit also rips CPS and police for not providing officers assigned to the district with specific training. Howard was charged with 2 counts of aggravated battery after the incident, but the charges were dropped less than a week later. All 5 Aurora police officers who were injured in last Friday's mass shooting are out of the hospital. 4 of the cops were released Sunday, and the 5th officer was released yesterday after they suffered gunshot wounds. Meanwhile, 5 people were killed after a worker at Henry Pratt Company opened fire following his termination from the job. The deceased were all employees of the plant. A rare Michael Jordan trading card is the most expensive basketball card sold on eBay. The 1997 Precious Metals Gems Michael Jordan Green card was purchased Wednesday night for a winning bid of $350,100. This news report is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Great news. There's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Geico can help you get great coverage at a great price, and it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save. AM 560 News Time is 7:33. How bad is traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Dennis Prager explains what we're up against.
Within days, we reported on this show that it was very suspect, this whole report.
Beaten with a noose around his neck and hospitalized.
They're going to announce that he is an abomination. They lie because they don't even care about the truth.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. The working class is the backbone of our society. Because of sky-high taxes, Chicago working class is being forced to run for the hills for cities that are more open and tax-friendly. The laws should apply to everyone, not just a few. I propose that politicians who pass insane tax laws give up a portion of their own paycheck as a penalty.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
VNC Communications, Inc., doing business as Performix, seeks an associate director of analytics and their Chicago, Illinois office to lead a business analytics team in the development and delivery of data-driven marketing solutions for clients to improve marketing performance and understanding of consumer insights. Interested applicants send resume to VNC Communications, Inc., doing business as Performix, 35 West Wacker Drive, Chicago, Illinois, 60601. Attention, H. Blackston.
Rates may apply. Do you want to learn how to get started making money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll be introduced to our 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to get started making money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where we'll share how to get started making money flipping houses and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited, so text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and you'll also reserve a free copy of Than's Money for Deals Guide. Just text your zip code to 82,000.
At 7:35 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
We're seeing a brief delay on the eastbound Reagan Tollway now between 59 and Winfield Road. The northbound Tri-State is heavy. 83rd Street toll to 75th. Plainfield Road to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, the other tollways are okay for now. Eden's 20 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 22. Inbound Kennedy, delays start at Canfield. 43 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 22 from Montrose, 20 in the Express. Outbound 28 minutes to O'Hare. Eisenhower, 49 minutes, 390 to downtown. 34 from Manheim. Outbound 34 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 35. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 20 minutes, 90 to the merge. Mission 423. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Today, mostly sunny skies with a high at 38. Clouds will increase tonight, low 29. Cloudy with some rain tomorrow with a high 42. Morning snow showers on Sunday. Clouds and cold, high 35. Temperatures dipping into the 20s. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 8 o'clock. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer
That's enough. Put down the mic.
on AM 560. The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy. And Carol's so sweet. She was asking me off the air. We're going to have LaShawn Ford, one of the candidates for mayor, on. And she said, is it appropriate at the end of the interview if I wish him good luck? And I said to her, Carol, this is talk radio. If we say anything this side of libel, we're okay. All right?
Don't want to run afoul of any political faux pas.
There's
here.
ethics in talk radio. Let's go to LaShawn Ford. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing fine, and I really, really appreciate the airtime.
Well, absolutely. We know because it's a crowded field. You're the state representative from the 8th District. You are a candidate for Chicago mayor, and I believe there are 14 candidates, so it's tough to get invited to these panels. And I've got to tell you, Mr. Ford, you're the only one on the panel right now, so you may live to regret it, but welcome to the show.
I'm not going to regret it. I think that I heard that you guys talk about ethics in the radio, so that's perfect.
Right, but and you know that ethics is beyond anybody who is involved in state government or local government. So let me ask you this though. I mean, to me, and you're talking essentially to a conservative audience. I don't see the appeal of any of the candidates, maybe except for Bill Daley, who wants to allow school choice. And I can't stand the Daleys. I mean, I can't stand them all. I mean, Richie Daley flunked the bar exam 3 times, then he becomes state's attorney. I passed it the first time. I couldn't even get a job at the state's attorney's office. Where's the fairness in that? But what do you have to say that could possibly resonate with conservative listeners?
I mean, I would say just look at the record. I've led the charge in making sure that scholarships went to families so that they can have choice to go to schools that met their children's needs. Daley speaks about what he would stand for, but I doubt it. I think that he's all about destroying the Chicago public schools with what you call charter schools. You know, that's what Daley is about. He's about business. He doesn't care about children. I have a track record that proves that I stand up for children having the ability to go to schools that meet their needs.
So, LaShawn, a couple of questions for you. Obviously, this has been kind of a mess from a voter's perspective. I think a lot of the media hasn't handled some of the debates very well. They've split you up into groups. You know, as a participant, how has the process been from your standpoint?
Just like you said, they haven't handled it well. They've given us an opportunity, but it hasn't been debates. You know, what we've had are forums where you have 1 minute to answer, sometimes what they call fire rounds. And
I'm sorry, LaShawn, your time is up on that question, but let's go to another one. No, go ahead.
Yep, that's exactly the way it goes. And unfair and it's been unfortunate because you have someone like Daley with all the money. He doesn't show up at the forums. Can't be mad at him. He's doing what he wants to do for his campaign. But people that like John Kozlar and myself and other candidates in the race, we show up for these forums because we want to meet the people and get our message out.
So how do you think you're differentiated then from this crazy panel? What is the point of differentiation that makes you the best candidate for mayor?
Well, one, I wasn't put up by the business community to run for mayor to protect the interests of the business community. I was put up by a grassroots organization because of my track record in standing up for working families in Illinois. And that goes to the point of making sure children have education that meets their needs, whether it's school choice or not. I've fought to make sure that we protect businesses. I'm the author of the bill to lower the LLC fees for businesses in the state of Illinois. I mean, that's a big deal. And I think small businesses appreciate it. I've worked with the business community on ways to make sure that their business employees could use health insurance for substance use disorder. I mean, my track record proves that I understand how to deal with across the aisle with Republicans and Democrats to get things done.
All right, let me ask you this, because this is a litmus test for me. I mean, I don't know nothing about all these economics things. All I know is about popular culture. How soon did you doubt Jussie Smollett's story? How quickly? I'm going to ask that of all the candidates.
I doubted it. I always give people, my mother always said, you give people the rope to hang themselves. So.
Wow, no pun intended.
Wow.
No pun.
And you know what, LaShawn? You're the only one who can get away with saying that joke. You understand that? We couldn't say that joke. But go ahead.
Right. And so what I was thinking was, this has to play out. And I still think that in the criminal, in our justice system, we have to let it play out. And he should have his day in court. But I did question because the scar was so small and he was by himself. I just couldn't understand how one person could just get a strategic scar under their eye.
All right,
it made me wonder.
So moving us to Smollett, back to Chicago, let me ask you a very honest question here. Can Chicago be saved financially? And obviously you're an Illinois representative, can Illinois be saved financially?
I think it has to be, and I do believe that Illinois and Chicago together we have to work together to fix the pension crisis, and that's one of the, I think, defining points for me is that I have the experience of working with people in Springfield. It's not easy, but there's not one candidate in this race that's passed bills like me and have the ability to work with Republicans and Democrats to pass a pension reform package to protect taxpayer dollars.
Do you favor an amendment to the Constitution on pensions?
Absolutely not. We can't. You can't. I mean, it's unconstitutional. Now, I mean, why would I favor something that was voted on and the Supreme Court ruled that you can't do it?
Well, then that's why we need an amendment. We need an amendment to the Constitution, don't we?
We can amend it. We don't have to amend it to diminish pensioners, but what we can do is make sure that we reduce the pension benefits for new hires, take away the COLAs from new hires. The COLAs are killing people. Take away the golden parachutes, but you cannot take and diminish senior citizens' pension that they were promised. It's just not right. I mean, why don't we find the money from rich people and have them pay their fair share? And I know this is a conservative radio station, but I think
you had me up until the fair share.
I know, but this is what I want to tell you. This is why we have to come together as conservatives and Democrats to find out if we're doing the right thing.
All right, let me ask you this. This is a litmus test question. I mean, Governor Pritzker wants to tax his way out of this problem, and he thinks that he's going to tax millionaires, and all that's going to do is going to chase millionaires like Carol away from Streeterville. It doesn't work. Taxing millionaires is the gateway to taxing the middle class to the extent you even have one left in the city of Chicago. How do you feel about that from Governor
Well,
Pritzker?
Governor Pritzker is talking about making sure that there's a fair tax in Illinois, and that means that we're no longer going to have a flat tax in the state. That's going to help Chicago.
But does that require that you raise the top end, or does that mean that you just make it more progressive down the line? Because that's the big issue. I mean, right? The big issue is that you've got people who are fleeing the state, who are fleeing the city because the taxes keep going up, the property taxes are going up, and the government spending is out of control, and we don't get great services in return. And so, are you going to raise the top end of that?
And what happens? What's most important about the Governor Pritzker and even many conservatives' beliefs about the flat tax that we have is that we need a question on the ballot to ask the voters whether or not a flat tax or a progressive or a fair tax is something that we need. Regardless to whatever J.B. Pritzker wants, it has to go to the people, and the people have to decide whether or not we should change our tax code.
People always want to spend other people's money.
Sure. Well, because we should spend your money because you're one of the gifted children. Where did you go to? New Trier? Did you go to New Trier? Oh, Deerfield.
Deerfield.
Oh, come on. She's she's an elitist, LaShawn. I went to Niles East and Skokie, and I dreamed of living in Deerfield.
Well, I went to Niles College Seminary for a year.
All right, I'll see that. I was born on the west side of Chicago. We left in '54. Okay, all right.
And so, I did. I went to Niles College Seminary for a year, right there by where close to where you live.
Yeah.
It was Harlem and Toohey.
Oh, no, Harlem and Toohey is in Niles. Yeah,
That's what I said, Niles.
Yeah, you just blur. Yeah, Deerfield and Skokie and everything, they're all the same to you. Right, yeah, okay, I get it.
Didn't you say you went to Niles?
I went to Niles East.
Niles
Skokie.
East. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, that's okay.
How many black people did you guys have in Niles?
I had one friend who was black once in my life.
We had 3 at Deerfield.
All right, I wouldn't really call her a friend. Okay, which it was an acquaintance. Mr. Ford.
Well, I'll be your friend.
Well, thank you so much. When I'm being perp walked out of the Cook County Jail, can you lead interference for me like that guy did for Jussie Smollett yesterday? I think it was like Bobby Massey.
I'm not big enough.
Yeah, I think that was Bobby Massey of the Bears who did that. Thank you, Mr. Ford. Good luck to you.
Yes.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, LaShawn.
All right, there we go. LaShawn Ford. And it's okay to say good luck.
I know it's nice. It's nice. It's good. Obviously out there trying to do something in a really difficult
and he'll
thing
talk
to do.
to us.
Exactly.
Bill Daley won't come on the show. Why does Baloney reject the grinder? As William F. Buckley said about Bobby Kennedy when he refused to appear on Firing Line. Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy on AM 560 The Answer.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Another school year is about to wrap up, and you need to start thinking about what activities your son or daughter will be involved with during summer break. You want them to have fun this summer, but at the same time have some structure to be prepared for the next school year. Introduce them to St. John's Northwestern Experience in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin with Summer OPS. Opportunities for personal success. 5 intensive weeks of learning and training. Young men and women grades 7 to 12 get an opportunity to advance academically in the structured and supportive environment of a military boarding school, and at the same time be involved in an exciting summer adventure camp that inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, leadership skills, spiritual and character development, and athletics and wellness. Camp St. John's Northwestern for your son or daughter with full boarding or day camp programs. Get more info at 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET or online at sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
It was early last week that I felt as though there was going to be a cold coming on. What I did is increase my intake schedule earlier in the day. And 2 days later, all symptoms gone. And that was my first real battleground test to see, okay, let's see what this can do. Outside of that, I feel better all health. I noticed another lift that says, yeah, this stuff is coming on. I've had people come up to me and say, hey, are you brainwashed by this? I said, no, nothing like that whatsoever. It just simply works.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 20% off any first preferred order of Balance of Nature and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spaveri, CEO of Spaveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation, family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Spaveri's is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, and I help business owners, 1099 employees, and those with unfiled tax returns solve their IRS problems. And I'm also the host of the IRS Radio Hour.
And I'm Jim Leahy, the co-host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here every Sunday evening at 5 on AM 560.
The Answer. I know you want a local attorney you can look in the eye and hold accountable for solving your IRS problem, not some big box outfit without a Chicago connection. So today we have a special offer. A good night's sleep.
A good night's sleep? Are you trying to give away a pillow?
Great guess, Jim. But no, I want to help people solve the problems that are keeping them up at night. If you fear the IRS will take away your money, freeze your bank account, garnish your wages, visit your home or job, and now they can take away your passport, you need to hire me to solve your IRS problem for good.
Call attorney Stephen Leahy, your Chicago IRS answer man, at 312-664-6649, 312-664-6649, and get the IRS out of your business and your life for good.
Get ready for Tango, the one, the emotion, the Argentine Tango Show with Orquesta Típica La Juan D'Arienzo live, performing in the United States for the very first time, and live in Chicago for a unique show at the North Shore Center of the Performing Arts in Skokie. Friday evening, March 8th at 8. Experience the sensational sound and motion of the pure Argentine tango, taking you for a journey into this most revered romantic genre of music, poetry, and movement. Hear tango music just like it sounded in its golden years in the middle of the last century. Don't miss Orquesta Típica La Juan D'Arienzo, accompanied by 3 world-famous tango dancer couples. You must act now for this single show opportunity. Seating is limited. The show is Friday evening, March 8th on International Women's Day. Tickets available now. Online at northshorecenter.org or stop by the box office at 9501 Skokie Boulevard. You can also call North Shore Center box office at 847-673-6300. The most popular days to get engaged are Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day. And guys, finding the perfect wedding venue can be harder to figure out than the color and quality of the perfect diamond. With love in the air, Avante Banquets is here to help you plan the wedding of your dreams for the party of a lifetime at a price right for you. Avante Banquets is part of the family-owned Chicago Prime Restaurants, with a picturesque location opened just last year near Barrington, providing fine American dining and a timeless experience. Avante is an exceptional space for your wedding or corporate events and fundraisers, for an intimate gathering, or parties of 500 or more. The calendar is filling up, so secure your date today at AvanteBanquets.com. That's AVANTE Banquets.com. With wedding packages starting at just $39 a person. Experience exceptional hospitality with the Calcunos family at Avante Banquets, because classic never goes out of style. AvanteBanquets.com. AvanteBanquets.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy. And of course, trying to figure out what Monkey's hit that is in honor of the late Peter Tork. Is that Pleasant Valley Sunday by any chance? Or, I mean, that probably isn't. I don't, we're paying tribute to Peter Tork today. In between segments on Jussie's Smollett. Normally, on a normal day, there would be a number of different topics, but this is so important. I mean, it's national news, it's local news, it's a story for our times.
I mean, it's not important. It's actually not important at all. It just has taken over the zeitgeist, both here locally and I think even more nationally than here locally, because here locally, everyone's like, yeah, didn't happen. We probably care less here than the craziness that's been going on Twitter and in the national
media. Are you
media.
saying that you have some Weltschmerz over the zeitgeist? I'm just wondering about that. Yeah, don't think that you can trump me on the foreign language right there. There actually is a story, another story, about this guy, this Coast Guard guy, who had 1,000 rounds of ammunition and about 15 guns and rifles and was planning to take out the entire Democratic Party and Don Lemon, and we're paying lip service to it, but theoretically that's a more important story. It doesn't fit the conservative narrative, and I'm still trying to do a victory lap on Jussie Smollett, so I don't think I want to talk about that Coast Guard guy. Go to MSNBC.
No, but they're not talking about it either. I mean, that's the staggering thing, is that you have this really what was equivalent to a domestic terrorist plot with a cache of weapons, with a hit list that, basically everybody and their brother on the Democratic side of the aisle was on, and it really isn't getting any attention, which is just incredibly staggering.
No, had he succeeded, I believe Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez would be the Speaker of the House.
No,
that's how.
Well,
so
no, I
so
think
I'm actually making a joke about that.
Yeah,
that was really bad taste.
That poor taste. Poor taste.
Thank you.
But it's interesting because obviously a similar thing had happened on the GOP side. I don't know how long it was, a little bit over a year ago.
Steve King.
No, Steve Scalise.
Steve Scalise.
Yes.
Excuse me. Steve King's
Totally
the one
different.
is the one we want to take
different.
out. No, we just want to remove him for racist things.
Right,
yes.
but that at the baseball field
Right.
when they went and they shot up the GOP game there, and this is sort of a similar situation, but on the other side of the aisle, and it really isn't getting any discussion points.
All right, can we go back to talking about Jussie Smollett?
Because you want to talk about Empire. This is
this
is the most people have talked about Empire since
all,
the show launched.
I don't think we have standing to talk about Empire since none of us has ever watched the show.
But they filmed in my building.
Well, how about burying the lead? I've been on the air with you since 5 o'clock this morning. You were an expert witness. You actually saw the beating. You actually saw the fake beating. Tell us what you saw.
I have driven by the location of the fake hate crime multiple times this week already.
And as we mentioned a little bit earlier, but it bears repeating because that's what talk radio is all about, beat it to death. Or give him at least a little scar on his face that doesn't look like much of anything. That you are going to, because you're very entrepreneurial. You're a business person. You're on Fox Business News.
We're doing tours.
You're going to be doing the tours.
We're going to take them to the. We're going to take them to the. We're going to start at the Sheraton Hotel for some cocktails. Right. We're going to walk down. We're going to ask for volunteers to get beaten up so we can do a fake reenactment, and then we're going to go to the subway afterwards.
Well, okay, that's fine. That's the end of the tour. That's what everybody's going to be waiting for. First, you got to. You got to ease into it. You got to give him a little Wendella boat cruise. Show him the Trump Tower. What else is in Chicago?
Are you trying to tell me how to do
days?
my job, Bruce?
Well, what else is in Chicago? They show him Water Tower Place. Maybe where
so
the Haymarket riot
talking
was.
About the full tour experience, not
you
the
take
specific...
him in a double-decker bus, and then you run over a guy in a Subway sandwich on whatever street that was.
Maybe that could be a new sport. Maybe fighting for Subway sandwiches can be a new sport that we can bring into
And
play.
you're right. You will see there's where the two guys, each with a 12-pack, and are they really hot, which were purportedly assaulted Jussie Smollett. And, I mean, that people will eat that up. I bet you that right now they are giving tours to the Streeterville area.
I did like the fact that LaShawn Ford said that he had enough rope to hang himself and didn't even realize that he made that.
And he's the only one who, if we had said that, that would be the end.
No,
there would be apologies ad nauseum.
That's fine. I don't need to say
All right,
that.
coming up after 8 o'clock, we have got Tim Connie from the Honeymooners. No, he is like doing, it's kind of like a hillbilly elegy, only his version of it. He'll be interesting to talk to. Coming up after 8. This is Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy. Let's go to the newsroom right now and Perry Williams.
Here's one of the stories we're following, and good morning. An Illinois lawmaker is proposing body cameras for public officials. Time for an update from Fox News on AM 560, The Answer, WIND, Chicago.
He swears to God it wasn't a hoax. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Jussie Smollett also reportedly apologized to his Empire co-stars, though TMZ also reports some cast members want him off the show. As Smollett fights the charge he staged last month's reported hate crime, Fox's Jeff Manasso live in Chicago.
Dave, Jussie Smollett, after posting bond yesterday, is back on the set of Empire and preparing a battle against claims the black gay actor and two brothers staged a fake racist, homophobic, and political attack last month. That Chicago prosecutor Risa Lanier says
misled the police and the public to believe his attackers were white.
Smollett's lawyers say their client maintains his innocence and feels betrayed by a system that apparently wants to skip due process and proceed directly to sentencing. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says true justice will come with an apology from Smollett, who he says slapped the city in the face. Dave.
Jeff, part of Smollett's claim was his attackers yelled, "This is MAGA country." White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders just told Fox that led to a rush of judgment.
It's another sad example of people so quick to want to attack and come after this president.
She also reacted to reports Special Counsel Mueller may be wrapping up his Russia and Trump campaign investigation.
We feel good about the fact that what we've said all along for the last 2 years will be clear. There was no collusion.
Ex-Trump advisor Roger Stone has been ordered not to talk about the case against him on TV or the radio or post anything online.
D.C. District Court Judge Amy Berman Jackson modified the terms of a gag order after Stone posted a picture of the judge on Instagram with what appeared to be crosshairs. Stone apologized in court, calling the post an inexcusable mistake.
Fox's Jared Halpern, a police officer hospitalized in Boston after being shot this morning when a traffic stop turned into a gun battle. Police say the officer is expected to survive. The gunman was later found dead. This is Fox News.
Good morning. It's 24 degrees with clear skies in Chicago at 8:02 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. Actor Jussie Smollett is apologizing to the Empire cast and crew and proclaiming his innocence. He returned to work yesterday after being released from Cook County Jail. He's facing felony disorderly conduct charge over allegations he paid two brothers to stage the attack because he was dissatisfied with his salary on the Fox show. Smollett denies the charges. In other news, two more women are accusing R. Kelly of sexual misconduct. Speaking yesterday alongside high-profile attorney Gloria Allred, Latricia Scaff said the incident happened in 1995 while she and Rochelle Washington were underage teens. The pair claims the singer exposed himself and had sex with one of them in a hotel room following a concert in Baltimore. And if they're good enough for police, why not require local elected leaders to wear body cams as well? State Representative John Cabello is pushing a plan that would do just that. Cabello says he wants to have local and state leaders wear body cameras as a deterrent to corruption. He's asked the State Board of Elections to come up with a framework, but his plan is being met with plenty of skepticism and very little support at the State House. Time now for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network. Here's Jenny Consola.
From the Fox Business Network, Daimler, the maker of Mercedes-Benz, and BMW are together taking on Uber. The two companies have revealed a new business that will provide rides and electric car charging. Ultimately, they want to develop an all-electric self-driving fleet that can also charge and park without a driver. More people are shopping at Wayfair, the online home furnishings chain. It reported a smaller loss for the holiday quarter. It was bringing in more money than expected. Wayfair says it was adding new customers and they were ordering more. AutoNation is reporting a disappointing holiday quarter and it's restructuring and changing management. Kraft Heinz shares are sharply lower after a disappointing quarter, and the Securities and Exchange Commission is investigating its accounting. It is also cutting its dividend. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
AM 560 News Time is 8:04. Where are the cars this morning? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Winter stinks. Snow, ice, freezing temperatures, more snow. Escape Chicago and join Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. You'll stay at the Marvel Residences Luxury Resort in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. It's a beautiful, all-inclusive resort located between Rainforest Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. Don't wait to book your Passport to Paradise trip with AM 560 and Apple Vacations. Visit 560theanswer.com/passport. That's 560theanswer.com/passport.
My name is David Hochberg at Team Hochberg. This analogy will explain how my competitors deceive you into doing business with them. Say a gas station is selling gas for $2 a gallon and the station across the street is selling gas for $1. Naturally, you're thinking the $1 a gallon is a better deal. Wrong! Because you're only getting a half a gallon and not a full gallon of gas for $1. My competitors deceive listeners by quoting ridiculously low interest rates. After sucking you in, they drill you with substantially higher closing costs. Team Hochberg has never and will never play these disgusting and deceiving games. If you want to work with an honest local lender who will always look out for your financial best interest, give Team Hochberg a call now at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial Legal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage License, MB 6761019, NMLS 1124061.
When you fire up a John Deere 1 Series tractor, you can tackle the job without wrestling the attachments. Hook up everything from a front loader to a drive-over mower deck in no time, so you can haul gravel, cut grass, or do any job in between. Because when things just click, work just gets done. And now get a 1 Series for just $99 a month at your nearest participating John Deere dealer. Nothing runs like a Deere. Run with us. Search John Deere 1 Series for more. 0% annual percentage rate. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
34 million Americans smoke. That's about 1 in 7 people. Not every smoker wants to continue using cigarettes. Juul was designed by smokers for smokers to be a satisfying alternative to cigarettes. Juul is a vapor product that contains nicotine for a satisfying transition. If you're one of the 34 million adults who smoke, know that there is an alternative to cigarettes. Make the switch at Juul.com. That's JUUL.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
At 8:06 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
The inbound Eisenhower has delays from 355 most to the way to be 4 North Avenue. Right lane is blocked after a car fire. And Manheim the rest of the way in. There's an hour from 390 to downtown, 42 minutes from Manheim, outbound 38 minutes to 390. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 23. Kennedy, 48 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 30 from Montrose, 25 on the Express, outbound 31 to the airport. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 36 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, heavy 75th most to the way to 31st, and from Reagan to the way to the Ike. Eastbound Adams Tollway's jammed, 25 to the 459 with a crash on the shoulder. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Sunny today, high 38. Clouds tonight, low 29. Some rain tomorrow, high 42. Morning snow showers on Sunday. Otherwise cloudy, windy, and cold, the high 35, but temperatures dropping into the upper 20s. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 8:30. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by CharlesEquipment.com, keeping you powered up no matter what the conditions.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Ding, 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 ding. Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy. Now, of course, everybody knows me because, according to my Twitter handle, I'm a TV and radio legend that Carol Roth has never even heard of. You never heard me on channel.
I said I've heard of you. I just hadn't heard you.
Until today.
There's a distinct difference. But We've been Twitter buddies for a long time.
Yeah, but that's only one aspect of my genius.
That's true. And now I'm getting the full repertoire.
Yeah, but everybody knows who Carol Roth is because Carol's on Twitter, just like I am, and she's a fan of Bill Burr, just like I am.
Amazing.
And I suggest you see his comedy act from 2014, the Netflix special, in which he talks about why you should buy a 22 as opposed to a 38. Because a 22, even though it won't kill anybody, it won't cause you to go deaf. And if there's an intruder in your house and it's dark in your house, you don't want to shoot a 38 so that you're robbed of two senses, both your sight and your hearing. That's just a little. I can't do Bill Burr as
amazing.
well. Yeah.
You can't do him justice in a minute.
We are joined right now
by the Bill Burr of the conservative right.
Absolutely. I'm having a hard time with my cursor here. Can somebody bring up Tim Carney for me? I'm so sorry about this. Tim is. I actually couldn't click on the. I'm such a Luddite, Tim. I'm so sorry. I wasn't able to click on the cursor and cursors to me. But Tim is a senior political columnist for the Washington Examiner. He's got a new book, Alienated America: Why Some Places Thrive While Others Collapse. Thank you for joining us this morning, Tim.
Hey,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you for having me.
So, opioid crisis. I'll just throw out some words here. I'll do the whole Tucker Carlson shtick right now. We got a crisis in America. We need to go back to the 1950s when men were men and they had manufacturing jobs and they could bring home the bacon, and people like Carol were home having 5 or 6 kids. That's what we need to do. Am I right, Tim, or wrong?
Well, I would not put it that way, but
Okay.
I would say that something has really been lost in Middle America, and it's not just the manufacturing jobs, and it's not sort of white male dominance or anything like that. What it is the strong community institutions that used to bring us all together, that would give us a sort of local safety net, that would give us a sense of purpose, that would give us connections to other people. Those things are present in lots of parts of America, especially in elite communities, especially in some really strong religious communities, but in a lot of middle America and a lot of rural America. You could travel 2 hours outside of Chicago and you could see it. Those institutions are gone and people don't have the connections and they're left alienated. And that's why I call the book Alienated America, because it's not just about economics, it's about cultural, social connection that's being lost.
Right, and you mentioned how elitists live a certain life, but a lot of other people don't, and a good life. And it reminds me of something that Charles Murray said. It was a book that he had a couple of books ago, which was that liberals should preach what they practice, that they actually have the institutions, they get to have the families, they stay together, they don't get divorced. But they say, the rest of you really can't do that, and you're not in our realm or atmosphere, and you can't do that.
They don't
and
they don't want to sound moralistic, and so they try to articulate a very relativistic approach towards community and family life, but for their own sort of best practices, it is going to be 1962. It is going to be Ozzie and Harriet. You finish school, you get a job, you get married, you have kids, you stay involved in their lives, and you help build your community. But the most important thing isn't them preaching what they're practicing. It's sharing their communities. Another thing that's in Alienated America, and that Charles Murray writes about, is increasing segregation by class, by income, by education. We're less segregated by race, and that's good, but we are more segregated by educational level and income. So the elites are cloistering off into communities that have more of these institutions of connection and purpose and support, and they're leaving more of the working class and the middle class without them. That's the alienation. So the problems you talked about at the beginning, they stem from that. And Donald Trump, when he said they were dead, he was tapping into that alienation in a way that no other politicians were.
So we've had, Tim, this change in the zeitgeist. Obviously, people used to look to their communities to solve problems. Now we have a whole slew of people that think that the government should be in charge of every problem and that they're the ultimate problem solver. What's been the catalyst for that, and how do we change that back to the way that it used to be?
And so there's lots of forces that I discuss in Alienated America that pull people away from their communities. One, obviously, is technology. It changes the way we interact. We're more connected to more friends, but less connected in real life to real physical friends. But there's also just been the sort of bitter irony that more centralization begets more centralization. As the federal government takes more power, it crowds out these local institutions, charitable organizations, churches, and thus people have to care more about the central government. And also media cares more about the central government, and more people are taking in the same 3 or 4 news sources that are telling us either about Washington or about the national scandal of the day, whether it be a fake hoax, hate crime in Chicago, or a kid smirking in a MAGA hat on the mall in Washington, D.C. And fewer people are knowing about their school board, fewer people are belonging to clubs, fewer people are joining PTAs. All the numbers are there in the book, that we belong to less, and our tribe, instead of being something that we're really living among, people who share similar goals and beliefs in neighborhoods, our tribes become these sort of party allegiances in what color, whether we're wearing a pink hat or a red hat.
It reminds me of the story of, remember when Oprah was sued over the man cow thing, the Texas beef thing, and she went down to Texas, and a lot of people are thinking, oh no, the locals are going to love the meat people from Texas, and she's going to be going into hostile territory. And it was exactly the opposite, because everybody loved Oprah because she's the center of the universe. And so, she had her way with the locals there, and we've lost that sense of identity. I mean, I don't even like the fact that Donald Trump has commandeered all our attention every day, 24/7 via Twitter. I believe in federalism, and what's the big deal? We should be talking about our local issues all the time, and we seem increasingly drawn to Washington, centrifugally. I'm looking for the word, but and it's
centripetally. That's another word. I use
yeah.
centripetal in Alienated America. If you read it, you'll learn a lot of new words.
Thank you.
Not most of your readers, just
I
you.
learned zeitgeist from Carol, but I gave her Weltschmerz. But the thing is it's all being sucked into the vortex in Washington, where
exactly.
Donald Trump, we've got to be consumed with him tweet by tweet.
No, that's exactly right. And again, this is alienation begetting alienation, where the more that we lose our connection to the local, the more we focus on the national, and then the more the central has control over our life. But that's not the way we're supposed to live. We're supposed to actually shape the world around us. And guess what? Nobody, no matter what campaign finance firm Bernie Sanders passes, no individual normal person is going to have influence in Washington. The only way you have influence is by getting involved in the human level institutions around you.
No, it's a very good point, Tim. I wonder, do you touch on the role of immigration at all? How do you think that affects what's been going on in terms of our communities?
I do. Immigration is a national issue, but it has its impacts on a local level. And that is to say, however open-minded and tolerant you might be, if your neighbors don't speak the same language as you, it's harder to form community. It's harder to do stuff
right.
together.
If you can't communicate with somebody, then you can't communicate with them.
Yeah. And even if you do speak the same language, different norms and customs. I tell a story in Alienated America about my neighbor and I trying to get together, but because of different religious beliefs, we don't. He doesn't consume any liquids. He won't drink beer, which is how I get to know people. So I said, "How about coffee? No coffee. Not even herbal tea."
Oh my
So finally, I just had to say to him, and this was awkward. I said, "What liquids do you actually consume? I will provide them if you come sit on my back deck." So the hurdles created by different cultures get in the way, and there's lots of stuff. Alienated America, I rely on reporting, but data, and there's data about this very problem.
I love that Tom Brokaw, considered a classical liberal. Heck, he even tried to cover up for Bill Clinton, what Juanita Broaddrick's story was going to be put on NBC. Classical liberal, he's got, on MSNBC, he got into trouble the other day talking about assimilation. And, I felt I was being gaslit by the liberals because they were saying, oh, no, immigration is great. Well, then why are things in 2 languages? I mean,
But it's interesting, though, Bruce. Yeah. I'm very surprised that Donald Trump has not declared English our national language. Because if you remember Mitt Romney, that was what he said he was going to do the first day in office. Why hasn't he gone?
Well, it'd be helpful if Trump were able to speak English. But, Tim, are you still there?
Yeah. Sorry,
okay,
I'm about to get on a train to New York. So sorry about the background noise there.
No problem. I knew that was, you're going from Washington to New York, right? The smoking
Yes.
car? Are you in this? Is there still a smoking car in it?
There's no smoking car. I don't do the silent car though, because I do believe in building community. So you got to be able to chat with the guy next.
Are you? Wait, is Joe Biden in like his own car right now with
Yeah,
a thousand?
Joe Biden is on every Amtrak train.
That's all he does all day. He just goes back and forth on the
All
train.
right, Tim, thank you so much. Your book is Alienated America, Why Some Places Thrive While Others Collapse. And you are the senior political columnist for the Washington Examiner. And we thank you for joining us on the Turnkey.pro answer line. Thank you, Tim.
Hey, thank you, guys.
Okay, and that was Tim Carney. Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth. We will be back with more lessons in German, which is becoming our national language here. Forget the Americanese. Why did you speak? Remember that city council member years ago? He said he was complaining about the cab drivers. And he says, why don't they speak United States?
It's
That was a city
valid
council
question.
member
It's a valid
in the
question.
city of Chicago.
Yes.
We'll be back after these words.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and you'll have to wait until spring to get the outside of your house painted, but winter, perfect opportunity to get your interior painted. You know, people walk into my kitchen and ask, Amy, did you get new cabinets? No, I save myself thousands of dollars by simply having them painted by the experts at CertaPro Painters. So cross the first project off your 2019 to-do list. CertaPro Painters will ensure a beautiful transformation of your home. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered. In-home with a color consultation or online with their color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. You can schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Get a free estimate at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Let's face it, everyone loves to shop. From my experience of meeting a famous politician in the Hermes store in Paris,
to my unforgettable experience test driving my first 600 horsepower car, in which I said, I'll take it before it even hit 60 miles an hour.
we're pretty sure everyone has at least one unforgettable shopping experience. Hello, we are Carrie and
Ken,
founders of Income Store. Have you ever considered shopping for your next income? And we don't mean your next job. Did you know that you can walk into Income Store's website through a door on the left or a door on the right?
if you're just starting out or you simply have more time than money, you're going to enter our website on the left. If you've got more money than time, then definitely the right door is for you.
If you're looking to increase revenue in your home or business and would like to create a brand new, greatest shopping memory, all you have to do is change where you shop. Check out one of the two doors at IncomeStore.com.
That's IncomeStore.com.
Improving your home? Why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show next weekend only at the Tinley Park Convention Center. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home inside and out. Get trusted advice on your upcoming projects as you speak with local and national experts who will help you with all of your home improvement needs. And be sure to attend the free expert seminars and live cooking shows all weekend. See quality indoor and outdoor furniture, amazing deals on mattresses and adjustable beds, the latest appliances by Grand, and so much more. Plus, don't miss the huge plant sale by Ted's Greenhouse. And test drive the new Transit Connect by Ford right from the show. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the huge Home and Garden Show next weekend at the Tinley Park Convention Center on Harlem Avenue north of I-80 with free admission and parking. For details, visit TinleyParkShow.com. That's TinleyParkShow.com.
I got my bottle of Balance of Nature. Oh, yeah. I went to their website, balanceofnature.com. And again, I typed Chicago in the promo code for 35% off my first order of fruits and veggies for Balance of Nature. You know, we're in the thick of it, the cold and flu season here in Chicago, and everyone's sniffling and sneezing and coughing. I'm around kids a lot, and I want to avoid getting sick. So I know that I have to boost my immune system. And a great way to do that is with the fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature. We're all busy, and it's hard to get enough fruits and veggies, and that's where Balance of Nature comes in. 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies in a capsule to boost your immune system all winter long. Folks, the testimonials are real. I've met Dr. Douglas Howard and his wife and son. Dr. Howard is the founder and creator of Balance of Nature, and he showed me the emails. We played the voicemails of real people who use Balance of Nature to get healthier and stay healthy. That should be you. So don't wait another day. Try it now before you get sick. And again, 35% off your order by using the promo code Chicago when you go to balanceofnature.com or simply call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751.
AM 560. The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth remembering the Monkees. Everybody's got something to hide except for me and my monkeys. That was one of their songs, right?
We were doing an amazing job of honoring the
Peter
Monkees
Tork.
and Peter Tork.
Yes, Mike. Now, I interviewed Davy Jones once at Fox 32, walked him down the hallway and sang Consider Yourself from Oliver to him because he had played the Artful Dodger.
How short was he?
He was about, he was short enough to pick your pocket. I mean, he was like about, you've got to pick a pocket or two. He was,
nicely done.
He was about 5'3". And Michael Nesmith, didn't know him, but I used liquid paper, which his mother invented. And Peter Tork I never met, and you pronounced earlier Mickey Dolenz Dolenz, so you don't know anything, you
I don't know.
whippersnapper.
I feel like he sounds more exotic that way.
He does, and he was a good old-fashioned American. So we're remembering him. President Obama has tweeted this morning, if I had a son, he would not look like Jussie Smollett. So poor Jussie Smollett.
Yes, we feel really terrible for him.
This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. That nobody's on his side. His defense team came out with this statement saying, where's due process? What has happened to due process? And he's got impeccable character. I mean, I love the statement, but you got to be able to back it up. And
not only do you have to be able to back it up, but this is a guy who was pulled over for a potential DUI and gave his brother's name.
Mm-hmm.
He gave false information. He actually had some sort of an arrest for giving false information. So he is a man of impeccable integrity and character. He threw his own brother under the bus.
Yeah, I would say it's peccable character.
It's peccable.
Yeah, and but I love when they come up with this statement. It's great, but you got to have Garagos or whoever they've hired, or Victor Henderson, who also represented the Jackie Robinson West baseball team in their successful efforts to get back their Little League title. They did get it, right? And one of the attorneys should have come out and had a press conference. Even Roger Stone, before he had the gag order yesterday, when he was arrested, he had a press conference saying, I'm innocent. Why didn't they have somebody say, no, this is the way it happened?
Because they don't want to dig a bigger hole. He's already gone on national TV with his crocodile tears on GMA with this ridiculous story that's ripped from CSI Streeterville.
Or mark my words, when the real truth comes out. And
real
remember,
truth.
I'm a little bit stoned right now. I think I've gotten the contact high from the glazed and confused or infused donut that you ate earlier this morning from Streeterville. Mark my words, they're gonna wait and find out what the whole story is from the brothers, and they're gonna poke holes in that and say, no, the brothers actually did attack me. They were wearing ski masks. The check, if you notice, was for $3,500, but it did not say for a hoax at the bottom.
My buddies who are like 6'7" and ripped as can be, I had no idea that was them. And oh, by the way, we practiced
They were wearing ski masks.
They practiced it the day before, and they have that on video.
Oh, all right. Well, that kind of nixes it.
That throws that sort of out the window.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. How do you come up with this statement that he has impeccable character?
It's phenomenal to me. I mean, the delusion runs deep with this one.
Look, I never get tired of this one. This is Commander Wardnicki yesterday after Eddie Johnson tossed it over to him.
Detectives responded to the incident and interviewed him eventually at Northwestern Hospital, where he reported to us that the two offenders yelled racial and homophobic and political statements at him and beat him.
Homophobic.
Homophobic.
Now, when Jussie was marching out, and I believe it was Bobby Massey, the lineman for the Chicago Bears, who led him out.
He definitely had a blocker. He definitely had a blocker.
And he walked out, and the media surrounds him. Let me tell you, I've been in gangbangs like that, they call it. Although the worst one it was ever.
I don't think that's the right word.
Well, that's what they actually. Well, actually, yes, you're right.
I think that's something totally different.
Yeah, you're right about that.
That is for the answer after dark.
In light of the Kavanaugh hearings, I probably should change my nomenclature right on that. But if you've ever been to the Louvre, or the Louvre, as Michael Jordan once called it, and you surround the Mona Lisa, which is about the size of a postage stamp, and everybody's got their cell phone cameras and video recorders trying to take a picture, that's the kind of swarm that you had around Jussie yesterday. And I love the questions that were being asked. Jussie, can you apologize to the city of Chicago? Jussie, is it pronounced Smollett or Smollett? I mean, there were some great questions that were asked there.
It's the hard-hitting question. But I do, again, have to give a prop to all of the reporters, Rob Elgas, Charlie DeMar, Rafer Weigel. The Chicago journalists were on point.
CWB, I believe.
CWB
is
Chicago.
That the network? Is that the network that put on Dawson's Creek and knocked off the Cub games from Channel 9?
That's the CW, right. But they've done a great job, and they've shown the national media how to do journalism.
Coming up after the news, we're going to be talking with Scott Martin, who is a contributor to Fox News. You are a contributor to the Fox Business Network. So you two can talk amongst yourselves regarding what really matters to people.
I'm an unofficial contributor, and he is an official
There
contributor.
we go. And that's coming up after the news. Let's go now to the News Lounge and Perry Williams.
Good morning, Bruce. It's 24 degrees with clear skies in Chicago at 8:30 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. A new police and fire training academy on Chicago's west side is one step closer to reality. The Chicago Plan Commission approved plans yesterday to build a $95 million, 500-square-foot campus in West Garfield Park. The project has been blasted by activists who believe the $95 million could be used for community infrastructure. It still needs to be approved by the full city council. In other news, a 10-year-old boy is accused of bringing a knife to class and threatening to kill other students at his elementary school in West Suburban Lombard. The child is charged with felony disorderly conduct and misdemeanor weapons charges. Authorities say the boy brought a large kitchen knife to Parkview Elementary School on Tuesday. He then told a classmate that everyone in the school is going to die. Illinois men's basketball welcomes Penn State tomorrow to the State Farm Center. The 1988-89 Flying Illini team will be recognized during the game to celebrate the 30th anniversary of its historic season. This news report is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Great news. There's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price, and it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save. AM 560 News Time is 8:32. How bad is traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Dennis Prager has a message for liberals.
That liberals are so stupid as to not realize what Alan Dershowitz realizes, that the enemy of liberalism is the left. Your foolishness is jeopardizing the future of the greatest experiment in liberty in human history, the United States of America, because you don't understand the left is your enemy.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
A lot of deals have been the Chicago way of doing business. I've never been tied to Chicago political machine. As your next mayor, I propose a citizen review board made up of citizens, law enforcement, city officials that will review the inner workings of City Hall on a quarterly basis. This open door policy will clean up the old corrupt ways and turn City Hall into the People's Hall.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
When it's cold outside, you can dress for it. But when your furnace gives out, hey, a blanket fort can only do so much. So call your local 1-Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. We'll replace your old furnace with a new high-efficiency one. And that beats a bunch of blankets any day. Right now, cozy up to big savings on a complete heating system. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1-Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Another school year is about to wrap up, and you need to start thinking about what activities your son or daughter will be involved with during summer break. You want them to have fun this summer, but at the same time have some structure to be prepared for the next school year. Introduce them to St. John's Northwestern Experience in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin with summer OPS, opportunities for personal success. 5 intensive weeks of learning and training. Young men and women grades 7 to 12 get an opportunity to advance academically in the structured and supportive environment of a military boarding school and at the same time be involved in an exciting summer adventure camp that inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, leadership skills, spiritual and character development, and athletics and wellness. Camp St. John's Northwestern for your son or daughter with full boarding or day camp programs. Get more info at 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET or online at sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org. Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
At 8:35 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
Metro trains are stopped on the electric line at Kensington after a pedestrian incident. CTA is honoring Metro tickets on the red line and on nearby bus lines. Kennedy inbound delays start at Austin, 54 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 40 from Montrose, 38 in the Express. Outbound 34 to the airport. Eden's 20 minutes, Lake Cook Junction outbound fine at 19. Eisenhower's 58 minutes, 390 to downtown, 41 from Manheim. Davidson an hour, 355 to the drive. Ryan 38 minutes, 95 to downtown. Tri-State heavy northbound from Stevenson to 31st. Northbound Veterans Memorial it's tight, 63rd to the Reagan Tollway. The other tollways are fine. Northwest Indiana looks good. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Today, mostly sunny skies with a high at 38. Clouds will increase tonight, low 29. Cloudy with some rain tomorrow with a high 42. Morning snow showers on Sunday. Clouds and cold, high 35. Temperatures dipping into the 20s. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 9 o'clock. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Oh, yeah. This is the B-side of I'm a Believer. Right, isn't it? I'm pretty sure.
The Beastie Monkeys?
Yeah, this is, we're paying tribute to Peter Tork, Lake Monkey.
Adam Roush, Yauch, and Peter Tork.
I love this. Our young staff, and included in that is you, Carol Roth, who never heard of me. I mean, I asked for a tribute to the Monkees, and I'm all hearing is this Cardi B or something, whatever this is.
Beastie Boys.
Tupac.
Beastie Boys.
You notice how Tupac has been mentioned by two people recently? I think
Jussie Smollett.
Well, Jussie Smollett said he was Tupac.
He was the gay Tupac.
Gay Tupac. And Kamala Harris said that she used to get high in college and listen to Tupac, but that's an anachronism because she graduated college like 7 years before Tupac's first album. So she lied. Both of them lied about Tupac.
And then she threw a bunch of people in jail for doing that too.
It was a Tupac this week. Let's go right now to our good friend. I haven't talked to him in a while, but we used to have him on the radio back at the other station. Scott Martin, good morning to you.
Scotty.
How are you kids doing? Bruce, they've kept us apart for too long. You're right.
Really.
About that.
Scott, of course, is the Chief Investment Officer of Kingsview Asset Management, contributor to Fox News, and to the Futures Institute at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It's tough to get that all on his baseball cap, but somehow he manages to do that. Scott, thanks for being on the show today. We appreciate it.
Good to hear you guys. How's everything going?
It's okay.
We're doing okay.
It's okay. So
we got a new mayor coming soon. So hey, there you go.
Who would be the most business-friendly mayor of the 465
this
candidates?
This is, by the way, the hardest question of all time. This is like the Sophie's choice of questions.
None of them are good. Oh, what did I just say?
None of them are good.
Yeah. I just saw Sophie's choice joke the other day. Go ahead, Scott. I'm sorry.
One of the three of us may be better, but Bill Daley probably promises to be at least the more business-savvy person. But I will tell you guys that so far, it's funny on that whole business sense or some of these questions that the candidates are receiving is, if you notice, a lot of them are really trying to toe that line between, well, we want to raise taxes, but only on certain areas, but we want to cut them here and raise them there, and we want to make this more friendly now, and then they forget the details. They don't even mention details. They just have these ideas that basically come without substance, as they would in a big field like this, I guess.
Carol, who did I tell you of the 14 candidates I thought would be best for the city of Chicago?
You said Bill, and I
said Bill Daley.
I believe the Cranes endorsed him as well.
I said Bill Daley, and I hate the Daleys because he cheated on his insurance exam. Oh, no, I didn't cheat. I left the spaces blank, and then somebody else came in and filled out the answers for me. I hate the Daleys.
It's certainly not the change that everybody's looking for, but, obviously it does. This whole discussion plays into the issue that there is this rallying cry, whether it's here in Chicago or on a national level, that for some reason the wealthy aren't paying their quote-unquote fair share, and that the American dream is now a bad thing, and instead that we should have a communist dream. Scott, what's going on? Why is there sort of this resurgence towards socialism and communism and all of these things that are so fundamentally un-American?
Well, I think, Carol, we've talked about this a lot on Fox together, is I think that the Republicans, and I think, as we've seen over the last couple of years, depending on how you look at it, but certainly in the 2016 election, took on the rhetoric of, hey, we want to help business. We want to make things more appropriate to start new businesses in this country, because we had 8 years of the "you didn't build that" comments to business around the globe, and especially around America, that I think the Republicans took on that idea very well, and so that obviously worked in 2016. So I think what happened, Carol, is the Democrats said, well, we've got to go back to something different. We've got to go back almost to the drawing board and really, really hammer this idea of socialism is going to help you, capitalism is going to destroy you. Really ramp up.
But we have full employment. We have people coming back in the labor force.
No,
how are they even making that argument?
Everybody's got to have 3 jobs in order to have full employment. That's what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez told me.
Who now has a lovely new address, by the way, in a very nice luxury building that she says that
of course.
Everybody should have access to, but she doesn't want to let anybody into.
Is it near one of Bernie's 3 houses is what I want to know.
Near one of Bernie's 3 houses, maybe near some of the businesses that would have been started from the Amazon deal that she blew, who knows. But I think, too, guys, looking at just that whole kind of idea that they're trying to tell really the youth, I mean, who's obviously, the millennials, a very big voting bloc, that they're really trying to poison their minds and tell them that capitalism is going to destroy them and leave them behind, when in reality, as you said, Carol, and as you know, Bruce, capitalism is what lifts people up. That capitalism is what brings people out of poverty and shrinks the wealth gap. And yeah, sure, elites do well in capitalist societies, but so do the poor if they're given a chance. So this idea that AOC and her cohorts are propagating really, to me, has as much credibility as, say, a Jussie Smollett bedtime story. And it doesn't seem like, because he clearly doesn't sleep, right? He walks around the city in the middle of the night.
With a Subway sandwich.
Exactly, with a Subway sandwich. I think it was tuna on toast or tuna on a toast.
Can I ask you a question now that you brought up Jussie Smollett? They say that a good prosecutor can indict a ham sandwich, but I don't see that the tuna sandwich was indicted yesterday, or the manager was just Jussie Smollett. Go ahead, Scott.
The manager should have been the key witness to this whole thing, because I'm sure Smollett was probably trying to plot with him in case the brothers didn't show up. You needed a backup plan, Bruce. You always need a good alibi or something. And I'll tell you too, guys, the one thing that's interesting, I think, about, now that we're getting through, some of the announcements of seeing who's going to run, we had Elizabeth Warren declare, Kamala Harris is talking about maybe being a running mate. I mean, you're really going to see a lot of this poisoning again of the young minds in this country really start to ramp up here, because it's the only shot they have. I mean, Carol, you and I know this from the comments and the stories that we've had on Fox together, is that there's no other way for the Democrats to have any chance in 2020 unless they can really push this social agenda, because they've gone so far to the left that now you have to basically take this idea and completely set it on fire, because the Republicans have already won the capitalist argument. So if you can convince people to believe that socialism is the saving grace here, that's what you have to do to get the vote.
But Scott, we've given up on responsibility too. I was at the 2012 convention, Republican convention. It was a great experience, and they had an auxiliary scoreboard, that showed the national debt going up. And I think back in those days it was only about 12 or 13 trillion. And we gave up on that, and for good reason, because we wanted to win, because everybody wants a free lunch, including us. And that's the only way we were able to flip 9 million Obama voters to Donald Trump. So it's like we've given up on it too, haven't we?
Yeah. And to be fair, Bruce, the Republicans spend just as drunkenly as the Democrats do. But the one argument is that in which environment are you going to see more tax revenue? The last couple of years we've had record tax revenues at the U.S. Treasury Department, likely thankfully to a few of us and some of the listeners out there too. But the reality is taxes are being paid, and they're being paid at a nice rate. And so at some point the government does have to be responsible. But I guarantee you that if you look at things like, all these entitlement reforms that the Democrats want to do, if you look at this Green New Deal that's tens and tens of trillions of dollars just to even implement, let alone the cost it's going to have on our economy. The economic environment going forward under one of the two regimes, or maybe a mix of both, is a scary thought when you look at how the Democrats and maybe some of even the slowly left of center folks want to have things happen in this country, because it's completely going to push that national debt. I mean, you think 22 trillion is a bad number. I mean, looking at it like a jackpot in Vegas. I mean, multiply that thing times 2 or 3, and that's going to be your number.
Yeah, I mean, Scott, obviously, if we're going to trade on capitalism and the economy on the right, that obviously that has to go well. We know we're nearing the end of a business cycle. What's your take on timing? When do you think a recession is likely to hit, and do you think that ends up being a factor in 2020?
Yeah, Carol, we look at economic data very, very exclusively just in my business because, we invest money for folks is how we kind of see the economy going. And I'll tell you, we don't see anything terrible on the horizon. We do see a volatile market environment just because of the fact that we have, some trade wars with China kind of going on, this small little, trade tiff thing that's been happening for over a year now almost, which is unbelievable. And then we've got these issues with D.C. and the fighting there, border walls and whatnot. So I think it's going to be a volatile year from the standpoint of the actual stock market, but I think the economy is going to continue to chug along because the business environment is very good. And so with the corporate tax cut that we got last year that was obviously poo-pooed as a technical term by a lot of folks in Congress, the reality is that did jumpstart some good economic growth, and it did have a nice effect, I think, on the business sentiment climate. We think that in 2020, depending on how some of the polls are showing, depending on how some of the politics are looking, world economy is very slow. That's probably your year when you're at least going to see a decent pullback in the stock market. But I think this year, although volatile, is probably going to be a positive year just because there's still that good sentiment coming off of the tax cuts, and frankly, it's not close enough to the election yet where we do have to worry about this.
Yeah, oy vey, 2020. That's when we don't need this.
Scott,
Bruce.
the important question though is, I didn't understand all that business stuff. Is that Carol really is enamored of those brothers because they each had a 12-pack. So I have a 0-pack. How many are you packing right now?
I'm packing a negative, Bruce. And
Sure.
I thought it was funny about the brothers.
Yeah.
How about this picture, guys? You know the picture of those two guys standing in the gym, which is great. They look awesome. But the reality is there's other people in the gym working out while those guys are taking their shirts off and taking pictures. And what are they doing? Getting on the equipment, sweating all over it, not wiping it down. I mean,
what's the problem, Scott? I'm all in for this.
And what
This sounds like
and what are you going to do? Rat tail the brothers there with their 12-packs?
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, no
Their
way.
neck broken.
Hey, Scott Martin, Chief
Or
Investment
attacked in the middle of the
Officer
night. It depends.
of Kingsview Asset Management, contributor to Fox News and to the Futures Institute of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Thanks so much for joining us, Scott. We appreciate it.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you. And he joined us on the Turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Get ready for Tango, the one, the emotion, the Argentine Tango Show with Orquesta Típica La Juan D'Arienzo live, performing in the United States for the very first time, and live in Chicago for a unique show at the North Shore Center of the Performing Arts in Skokie, Friday evening, March 8th at 8. Experience the sensational sound and motion of the pure Argentine tango, taking you for a journey into this most revered romantic genre of music music, poetry, and movement. Hear tango music just like it sounded in its golden years in the middle of the last century. Don't miss Orquesta Típica La Juan D'Arienzo, accompanied by 3 world-famous tango dancer couples. You must act now for this single show opportunity. Seating is limited. The show is Friday evening, March 8th, on International Women's Day. Tickets available now. Online at northshorecenter.org or stop by the box office at 9501 Skokie Boulevard. You can also call North Shore Center box office at 847-673-6300.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I was singing in the shower, singing El Solo Mio. Oh, Solo Mio. As I was singing Mio, I sneezed. So I'm drying up, and I sneeze again. And I blow my nose. A whole bunch of stuff comes out. I'm suddenly realizing that I am breathing out of my nose the best I've ever breathed out of my nose in years. I don't think it's a coincidence that all of a sudden now I'm breathing. What has happened in the past year? I'm on balance of Asia. Little by little every day, if I experience it, I'm happy. I'm sure this has to do with balance of nature. I'm sure it does.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 20% off any first preferred order of Balance of Nature and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
If you've considered a MyPillow but procrastinated, the MyPillow 4-pack offer is still available. That's 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows plus free shipping, all for the price of 1 premium MyPillow. They're amazing pillows, so don't procrastinate. You'll sleep better. You'll feel better. They're washable, dryable, and have a money-back offer, and you can still get 30% off everything else, including the MyPillow mattress topper. Your mattress will feel brand new and improved for a lot less than a new mattress. Or get those great pet beds that my dog Bunky loves. Just use the promo code Amy for the MyPillow 4-pack offer with free shipping and the 30% discount on mattress toppers, pet beds, and even the Giza cotton sheets. Visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. And don't forget to use the promo code Amy. That's MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
You've spent a lot of time and energy getting everything perfect with the planning and construction of your new property, but something's still missing. The interior and exterior of the structure turned out as planned, but there's still something you may not have even thought of until now. And it makes a big difference. The landscape. That's where AM Woodland Design makes the outdoors come alive to put that final detail on your build. Whether you're a commercial developer or custom home builder, AM Woodland Outdoor Design will put the finishing touches on your properties to make a complete and flawless presentation that will impress. As always, the expert team at AM Woodland Outdoor Design will guide you through every step of the process and provide quality service with integrity and reliability every time.
AM Woodland Outdoor Design, proudly serving Lake, Northern Cook, and Kenosha counties, helping make the communities they grew up in as beautiful as they can be. Visit amwoodland.com, that's amwoodland.com, or call 847-224-2167.
Bigger rates may apply. Do you want to learn how to get started making money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll be introduced to our 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to get started making money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where we'll share how to get started making money flipping houses and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited, so text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and you'll also reserve a free copy of Than's Money for Deals Guide. Just text your zip code to 82,000.
Pain drugs are addictive and have side effects. Get off the drugs, get rid of the pain. You don't need to live with chronic pain. Let's repeat, you do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, from an accident or pain that just develops. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the most respected and successful pain doctors in the world. Dr. Candido will work to find the source of your chronic pain and fix it. He teaches pain management around the world and has been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Okay, you get it. He's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido, Chicago anesthesia and pain specialist, will help you get off the pain medication and all of its side effects. You can get your life back. Drugs mask the pain, find the source, and fix it. Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain. You be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info at mypainchicago.com.
AM 560. The Answer.
Yeah, all right, finally, an actual monkey song in honor of Peter Tork. Carol Roth, join me. I'm not your stepping stone.
Nicely done, Bruce.
Yow!
Okay, not so nicely
Okay,
done, Bruce.
ow, I hurt myself on that.
And,
think
and,
I pulled
and
something.
everybody else.
Sorry. Bruce Wolf and Carol Roth in for Dan and Amy. And I know we still have a couple of minutes left, but I don't want to forget to thank people, so I'm going to thank people now. And then tell me who I forgot to thank.
Thank the Academy.
Actually, there's going to be no host of the Academy Awards this year.
It's amazing.
Which is interesting. Justin, Keith, Quinn. I want to thank Marcus for having me on, and Mr. Salem for having me here as always. And so, Carol.
What am I, Chup Liver? I don't get anything?
Wait a minute. You're with me. We're together. Yes, it was great. It's been great being on with you. The thing I love about Jussie Smollett, and it happened yesterday when Eddie Johnson gets on there, is Chicago's the center of attention. And in a good way for how we handled this. Remember, we didn't get the 2016 Olympics. And that was going to be our chance to showcase ourselves. And now, thanks to these fortuitous circumstances, we get to, not fortunate, but fortuitous.
Yes, we get to be on a national stage.
Yes, and in a good way. Now, what I don't understand is how a guy like Jussie Smollett possesses the acting acumen to bamboozle Robin Roberts, but then has such a ham-fisted execution of the hoax itself. I don't understand how that happened.
Because he is an actor.
Yeah.
He's not a producer or a director.
Which shows that's why capitalism works, why shows work. Everybody's got his part.
Stay
the
in
little
your
people
lane.
like Mr. Salem, but the big people like us, the egomaniacs sitting here right now, we have our spot. So you were telling me that you've got some predictions on who the Democratic ticket is going to be, and I couldn't disagree more, but I think first we should actually hear what you think it is.
Sure. So I think that there are one of two ways that it plays out. I think it's either Biden-Harris or it ends up being Bernie and Harris.
So it's an old white man at the head of the ticket again. Have we learned nothing from what has been going on with the Democratic Party? You have all these women there, and now they're going to take a back seat?
Well, they'll take a VP role, which, by the way, would be historical. We've never had a female VP before.
I believe that Geraldine Ferrero was President Mondale's vice president. Am I right about that?
But she didn't win.
Oh, I forgot about that. I used to have a joke. Eleanor Mondale,
Sure.
A blessed memory. I used to do radio in Chicago. She was the daughter of Walter Mondale.
Yep.
And I used to go up to her and say, my dad got one less state than your dad did in the 84 election, and my dad owned a hardware store.
Brutal.
So, that
Brutal.
was, it was bad news.
But who do you, I mean, obviously.
How can we go for the old white guy again? That's a step back. We just had Hillary Clinton run. She was the nominee. Now we're going to take a step back. What was all this Me Too about?
Why is that a step back?
Because they should be at the head of the ticket. They should be. Kamala Harris is going to be the nominee because she has the flexibility to fiddle around with the truth like nobody's business.
To say whatever it is that's going to work for you that day.
At the moment, what tweet did I write about Jussie Smollett? I don't remember it. Somebody else did it.
But here's the interesting thing is that either if you have Kamala or you have Bernie, I think that's the catalyst for Howard Schultz getting in the race, and then that basically ends up being the spoiler.
Howard Schultz should not be the nominee. What has he ever done in his life? He didn't build Starbucks. He lived in a Brooklyn projects, in the lap of luxury. The government paid for his housing, and then he has the chutzpah to tell me that the government shouldn't help people out. He was helped out by people like me who were sitting around and honeymooning in the Soviet Union and supporting the Sandinistas. Is that a deep side? You do impersonations. Is that a pretty good?
I think that's actually fair. You can give Larry David a
sure.
run for his money.
Who knows? And Larry David will have a job on Saturday Night Live.
He will for a long time.
Close it out with some of your best voices. I know you do some great voices here.
Okay. Well, Bruce, it's been really, really great to be here with you. I think you've been a fantastic radio host. And, yeah.
So we should have done the whole show. You should have done the
I
whole
should just
show
do
as
it
Cartman.
in South Park. Well, that was kind
Yeah.
of like a little bit of a Jimmy who's I didn't want to do the full thing because he's got some quirks there, but
It's lost on our audience. We just that was one heck of a South Park dealio that you did right there.
Thank you.
So,
I could do Kermit the Frog.
Go right ahead.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows and what's on the other side?
Excellent. So you
Yes.
have such a range.
I do have a range.
You do everything from cartoon characters to puppets. Yes.
Basically, if there's sort of a childhood cartoon goofy thing, that's sort of in my repertoire, so
That
to
is
speak.
wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I can't trump any of that. Well, I got my
You
Larry
can't do
David.
Can you do Trump?
No, not at all. I can't
can't
even
say-
do the Alec
can't say
Baldwin Trump.
Gina.
Gina. Yes,
Gina.
very,
It's
very good.
The favorite
All right, so
country.
we'll see you on
On
Fox
after,
Business
Fox Business
today.
after the bell today at 3 p.m. or my
Mhm.
podcast, The Roth Effect.
It wasn't. You didn't have to get into your makeup for the radio, but thank you for doing it. Let's go to the newsroom right now and Perry Williams.
Time for an update from Fox News on AM 560 The Answer, WIND Chicago. It's 9 o'clock.